It's Friday. It's open comms. We made it. No audio troubles. No missed click cues.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yet.
It's starting off great.
Woo. And on time.
What a like the names are all set. What a professional looking show. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm gonna try to. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pay attention for a few seconds. Hold on. We're about to blops on something.
I'm not paying attention at all.
In what system?
I don't know yet. They haven't told me.
I'm definitely not in Discord about to tell other people. To like,
I'll let
watch
you know.
out.
I'll
Hey,
let you
watch
know.
out.
Don't worry about it.
that thing that you're looking at, it's bait. But yeah, so everyone have a good week, I hope. It was a
I
fun
had a
one this
great
week.
fucking day because Iowa State won today, and that makes me happy.
Yeah,
So
Iowa State won.
anything else happens?
Sounds like a lot of people's teams have been winning.
Who's out again?
What teams? We playing sports ball?
There's the college basketball March Madness tournament's going on. Started a couple days ago, I think. Started on Wednesday, right? I mean, I guess some of the playing games started before that, but
yay, sports ball!
Go Gonzaga! I doubt they're getting any further than this last one, but
Gorgonzola
or Gonzaga, as everyone else calls them.
Gorgonzola, yeah, that's it.
Every time people say like Gonzaga, I think of like Encino Man, who's like, huh, Gonzaga.
Such a good movie.
I missed it. God damn it.
Darwin, thanks for the resub, dude. What's up? Welcome. Oh, I have a question for you, Darwin. Are you a bourbon or a like rye whiskey type guy?
Type guy.
What is the preference on that?
Type A1 bourbon guy. I don't.
Bourbon side. Good. Yeah, nice. Perfect. Okay. Random question. Yeah, do we want to hit around the horn and then we can get into? There's been some cool Eve things come out. So, we'll swing into some of those.
Talking about last weekend.
Escapades throughout the week. But yeah. So, Alex, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Matua Sauvignon Blanc tonight. Just kind of switch it up.
What's that mean? Is that wine?
Yes, it is.
A Sauvignon LeBlanc.
Sauvignon.
I'm channeling my inner Dirk, and I've got Yingling. It's black and tan Yingling. It's so good.
Yeah. What's the black and tan? Is it just like a darker beer?
It's a porter and like a lager mixed together.
Oh, okay. So thick.
No, it's not thick. It's beer. What?
You drink it with like a spoon or something?
It shouldn't be chunky.
Soupy. It's very, very beer.
It's very soupy.
Did you say hawked
Really
so I've already fucked up my drink. I'm supposed to be mixing like this orange juice with some of this fruit punch with the vodka, and I actually just poured vodka and just filled it with orange juice. So I guess I'm having a screwdriver first. And then
Who's watching you do it?
And then I'll try and make the actual drink I intended to after that. LB, what do you got?
Right now I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper Zero.
That's heavy.
And then I'm gonna switch to the Paulaner, the German white.
The
wheat
zero
beer.
though, you think you can jump from zero to Paulaner?
Well, I already had 3 pints at the mess, so
Okay, so you're okay.
I don't want to go too hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, I go
I'm still
as
a
hard as I can.
responsible adult. Well,
I'm
I
not.
know that's
What's that?
you're a better man than I.
I don't think
Mace, what do you got?
I am actually just drinking a Coke because earlier today, about 2 hours ago, I decided to do a food challenge and eat essentially 4 big bowls of ramen all in one, and I drank about a gallon of pork broth.
Oh.
gross.
So,
Stuff.
but I did
weird.
win the food challenge. I ate all 4
But I did
bowls,
win.
and I ate all 4 bowls in under 20 minutes.
Damn.
But did you
But
win?
How long? But did it come up later though?
No. Actually, this is the second time that I've done this food challenge. The first food challenge, I had a minute and a half left, and I was like, nope, and I got up and got sick. So this is my second attempt, and I finished it with 45 seconds left.
Damn.
And they gave me like a. It's funny. They give you a little trophy, and when I mean a little trophy, like half the size of a cell phone. Little trophy. But
It's worth it though, right?
but it was free.
7 years off your life, worth it. Oh, it's free. There you go.
Yes, it is free. If you lose, it's $50.
So basically, you won $50 worth of food.
Exactly.
By eating $50 worth of food.
You had to eat it one time.
Technically, I won $60 worth of food because the bowls are $15 a piece.
$15 for ramen?
It's
ramen.
It's
like
really
60
good
cents,
ramen.
aren't they?
Oh, it's like that imported, not like
this
your
is good ramen.
Yeah.
This is good ramen, dude. This is like comes with a soft boiled egg and pork tenderloin.
Pretty sure the last ramen I had was like 67 cents. Yeah.
And
but that's Maruchan. That's like top ramen stuff. This is like
top ramen. It's top ramen. How you get higher than top
ramen?
Well, you get higher.
It's the top. It's the top. Top ramen. It says it right on the
best.
package. It says it right on the package.
Skyhawk, what are you drinking?
I am drinking some delicious cranberry juice cocktail and occasionally taking some shots of vodka. So I'm just doing it that way this week.
Oh,
and then
just
I
mix it
also, yeah, it'll mix inside me. And then I'm also, already about 45 minutes ago, had a 20 milligram edible, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I don't know how you do it.
I want to get back to Mace's.
You got to shake it up a bit.
I got a question on the ramen. I got a question on the ramen thing. Right, what flavor ramen was this? Like just butthole ramen?
Pork bone broth.
No, dude.
Like.
I will drop a link in.
Yeah, you're thinking like top ramen that you like just put. Like he's talking like full on like ramen. You'd get it like a ramen restaurant, like where it's got like noodles.
Go to a ramen restaurant because ramen costs 67 cents.
That's cheap freeze dried crap ramen. This is like actual legit like Japanese ramen. Like, they make like an actual
the link I put in
broth, like from not from like a little bouillon packet, but they make the broth from like making the broth. And then they have noodles, like vegetables, soft boiled egg, usually meat in it, and all kinds of other stuff like bok choy.
If you look at the link that I put in Twitch.
Yeah,
that'll take you to the website, and it's I got the tonkatsu ramen. And the Godzilla Bowl ramen challenge is what I did. It's essentially 4 bowls all in one big bowl.
Damn, that's insane.
So that's what it comes with. It's pork broth, chiatsu pork tenderloin, soft boiled eggs, scallions, burnt garlic, and bamboo shoots.
That's if you, but you could have picked for the challenge. You could pick any of those. You could have chosen. The other ones. Okay. Right.
Yeah, you could have got miso or gluten free. The last time I did it, I got the shoyu ramen, and I think the pickled mushrooms is what did me in.
Pickled mushrooms.
Oh, I like pickled mushrooms.
Oh, dude, that's now when I normally go there and I just order like one bowl. That's the bowl I get is that shoyu with the pickled mushrooms. It's delicious.
That sounds great. Yeah.
But four times.
Pork oh fuck yeah, that looks really good.
It's really good, dude.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's right. Let's shift into some Eve. So I was at the FPS thing. So they came out with that this week.
Has anyone really could tell the difference?
I think I did. Well, so we were talking about this in the thing. So they've so essentially what they did was, I mean, Darwin might know a little bit more, but basically it sounds like they're basically taking some of the calculation load that normally would be done by your CPU and offloading it now onto your GPU. And I don't know if it's like DirectX that lets them do that. I can't remember, but
so I have a question, like just a logistical question. So does this mean we can drop 5,000 people in a system and it won't be quite as bad anymore?
This has nothing to do with their servers and handling their this is basically on your local machine.
What shit looks like
processing onto your screen. So normally Eve can be pretty CPU intensive, and so oftentimes people have like an excellent graphics card, but if their CPU is usually the bottleneck. So their graphics card could support way more, but they're bottlenecked by the CPU. So this is taking some of that load off the CPU and putting it on the GPU and your graphics card, which usually can handle more. And so it's essentially allowing your computer to run Eve faster than it normally could. But that's not going to do anything on the fights.
Needs to do the same thing on their end. That it won't lag as much.
Yeah. So Darwin said that it's less than necessary to do things like turning off audio to increase your local performance. But yeah, this is a local performance increase on your machine, not on their server blades.
Darwin, Eve doesn't have sound. What are you talking about?
And I think I noticed a difference. I mean, again,
Yeah,
you're saying
I have mine on.
it might be like a placebo.
I mean,
they
it
were
is
saying,
actually peaceful when you listen to it.
because they were saying that most people are going to probably see like anywhere from a 10 to a 30% increase in performance, depending on your machine and what cards you have, what CPUs you have, and all that stuff. I think that because I normally mine runs, I only run one client, so mine usually runs it pretty fine, but I do have an older machine. But I do notice like any kind of scenes that have a lot going on, especially like lots of drone stuff, it does kind of chunk down a little bit. And every now and then, if it's like loading a new system, sometimes I'll have like a little frame rate drop for a second or two, and then it picks back up. I didn't really notice any of that. And also, if I dock up or undock, the session change there usually has quite a bit of a load time for me, where I feel like that was reduced and it was faster and smoother. So I want to say I noticed a difference. I have it's a an i7 6700K, so it's old. Pretty. It works. What?
I mean, I have an i7 too. I don't know which one I have right off the bat, but I mean,
the version is.
Like, I ain't got no issues.
Mine was a really good processor like 8 or 9 years ago.
That's the situation I'm in. Is my processor was great, and I was able to run 8 clients max graphics with Discord and browser, and all the things going, and no problem. And I'd say about 2 years or so ago is when I really hard lost that issue or lost that ability. And I'd hope that this would be able to alleviate that a little bit. I am going to try
without any changes to your equipment, right?
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you lost that ability without any changes to your equipment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. CCP changes, not your changes.
They've updated stuff in the game, which
I just want to point that out,
which I don't begrudge them for.
No, that's good. They're updating it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that's we're talking about.
But it's honestly why I don't go in hardcore multi-box mine the way that I used to, because I can't.
Yeah, it's I mean, and that's good because it's a lot. There's, I mean, I can't think of any specific example here, but I remember back when they were like dropping DirectX 9 support, and a bunch of people were freaking out, and it's like, you guys can't expect a dev company to cater to people with 12-plus-year-old machines. It's like they have to be able to move their game and their technology on with the rest of technology. They can't just be still
how
accommodating Windows 3.1.
You know how I buffer all those problems? I just get higher and I don't notice the lag as much.
That's the point.
That's one way to
take to the problem.
Tom's
right
just
there,
like, this update's so fire, and he's just looking at a blank screen. His computer's not even running. It's just
this is fantastic. I can't believe how many fleets I'm in. It's fucking awesome.
Graphics are
so good.
But yeah, I thought it was. I feel like I noticed it. So I'm hoping it wasn't a placebo, but I don't know. It seemed fine.
Oh, so there is a problem. He said the tactical view doesn't represent bubbles. What?
Oh, I always have Oh wait, no, tactical view. Are you talking about the tactical camera where you can move it away from your ship, or are you talking about the control D?
Your grid.
Yeah, your control D tactical overlay.
It doesn't show your bubbles anymore.
It doesn't. Why did I feel?
Oh! I think he means if you hover over your gun, it shows the range instead of it showing a bubble. It just shows the 2-dimensional ring on your grid, I think.
Oh, got it. Okay, thank you.
Oh,
yeah, thank you, Dragon. You were correct. Without the 3D turn on.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. No, I think we got. I think we got it, Darwin. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't screenshot
because if you're looking at the tactical overlay, anyone that's above or below that grid,
yes, you have to.
The little line will go over and onto the 2-dimensional plane where they're roughly at in distance, and you just be like, are they?
Now I don't know what you're talking about.
You can just correlate.
You just screenshot, print that, and fax that over to me ASAP. Okay, thank you.
If I don't see a screenshot, I'm just gonna believe it didn't happen.
No, Darwin, where is the Zarzak music I've been asking for?
Yeah, Darwin.
Yeah.
What the hell, Darwin?
I wish to bump it in my house.
Dude, I wonder if the Deathless is the one.
You just copied off the fucking.
Is it DJ Deathless?
But I don't want the muffled version of it.
I hum my own.
I want
hum your own.
You want the high
fidelity Darwin does.
I want the high def one. Or put it on Spotify or something.
Get bent.
SoundCloud. You guys got a SoundCloud? Put it on there.
They sell the CDs. You have to buy the CD. I've got it right there.
No, you don't.
CDs. SoundCloud. Is this 2008?
I'm telling you, I've got a CD of Eve music somewhere.
CD,
my
like a
God,
burn
please
disc.
Did
I'm telling you,
everyone
from
watch?
CCP. I've got.
Read the towers.
Make a mixtape.
A mixtape of. I thought it was funny that people still called them mixtapes, even though like tapes were gone and it was like CDs.
Did everyone watch SpaceX Crew 9 Flashback Down?
No, it sounds lame.
What? What? Pitiful.
Hey, he said he's going to mention it to the audio team. So
Yeah, let's get it. High def, not the muffled one. I don't want to be like three doors down. I want to be in the club.
Oh.
In the club.
I was wondering. I was like, why does Alex sound quiet? I had you down at
Y'all
75%.
kiss my
I don't know why I
ass.
did that.
CD
You must have been really loud last week.
of Eve music. Fuck off.
what? Am I better now?
Yeah, because I turned you back up to 100%. I had you turned down on my end for some reason. That's what I'm saying. You must have been loud. I adjusted.
He just thinks I'm annoying.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, it even came with an online thing I could have gotten. I didn't. It didn't even put it at it.
Hey, try it. Try it. You never know.
The original
Little
soundtrack.
online code.
It fucking exists. I got it right here.
I'm just saying that you got to look. It's probably a digital code or something, so you can
It
download
is,
the soundtrack.
for somewhere.
Yeah, go try to
I'm
redeem it.
not gonna
See
do
if
it.
works. Well, give it to me. I want.
Oh,
I
for
want to
30
redeem.
hours of free.
Oh yeah, the 30 free. Do you remember how they went with like 10 free hours? Then it was 20. Then it was 30. There was like 100. It's like, just make AOL free. I don't know.
So
540 hours.
buried in a closet at work, is one of our storage areas. I found an old box for Windows ME from fucking 500 million years ago, basically. And inside of it was an ad for AOL. Like it felt like I was opening a little time capsule, reading through all the things that were in it.
I remember having like 900 discs.
I was just gonna say,
AOL.
here you go. Anybody else ever seen this before?
Why do you have
Was
the
that
save symbol there?
95 floppy.
I'm floppy.
Wow.
You 3D printed a save symbol?
Oh my god. You got.
I literally have Eve. I have
Yeah.
Windows 95 on floppy disk still.
I can only
LB.
imagine like some kids now see like why did you make
What are those
why did you make a
things? Yeah.
save icon? Why did you do that?
CryptoWeave. What? What's that?
Oh, someone's asking about Eve
What's that
2.0.
called? That's called. No, it's not Eve.
Yeah,
What's it called?
I know.
Eve what? Eve Frontiers.
Frontiers, yeah.
Skyhawk.
It looks dumb.
It sounds
You should
cool.
just-
I don't like the crypto aspect of it, but some of the things in the game sound like they would be cool.
You
It'd be
could
interesting,
come
but
Don't
down-
tie it in with crypto, and I would play
You
it.
should come down the week before you're planning on coming down, and we could just go to Bonnaroo, dude. Come on, you like getting stoned. Bonnaroo is about getting stoned. There you go, buddy.
The thing that makes it possible for me to do so many trips is the fact that I pay a dirt cheap hotel rate, but that's only available at a hotspot like Gatlinburg if I book in advance. So like the date for me is basically set at this point.
I know that. I'm just making a joke.
If I'd known Bonnaroo was happening, then I didn't
It
realize that's
literally
where it was.
happened like the week before. It's obviously not in Gatlinburg. It's in Middle Tennessee, but like I've never been, and me and hot weather and outside don't really go good together, so I'll probably never go. But yeah,
You get boob
Where-
sweat too,
Why
right?
aren't you in NOLA right now,
I
mate?
do get boob sweat. So actually, believe it or not, like last minute, I figured out that I would have had enough money and hotel points to actually get the weekend for free in NOLA. But the issue was this weekend, my wife is also out of state at a concert in South Carolina. So I'm at home with the kids.
What concept?
He went to see Rascal Flatts.
Oh,
What's that?
It's a
It's a
country thing.
Place?
It's a band.
It's a
Ah,
country
dang.
band.
Not quite that country, but
No,
I bet
no,
it-
no,
I bet it
yeah.
is.
It's not.
But yeah, so like I didn't know that it lined up until about 3 weeks ago because I was looking at hotels in NOLA, and she's like, that's the weekend I'm going out of state, right? And I'm like, oh shit. And I made the joke that Delana's parents are gonna babysit my children.
So what's the screenshot we're looking at here?
This is like what he was saying. It doesn't have the
Yeah,
spherical thing.
what do you mean?
This looks like my
Oh,
tactical
shit, that's
overlay, Dom.
My
Or Dom.
tactical, same
What
here. Yeah, what
screenshot
the
are
hell's
we looking
different?
at?
But that's because I don't have 3D whatever enabled, probably. So this is what I'm used to looking at.
You're saying I'm doing it wrong.
Oh
Probably.
Lordy mercy! I don't even have my grid like that.
Yeah.
I know what it is, but I don't have my grid like that.
Potato mode.
I don't have the tactical grid on ever.
Oh, I
used to
have the
not,
tactical
but
grid
now
on.
I have. It's so
Always have it
useful.
on. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Realistically,
It's so useful. I have to have it on
like,
now.
realistically, once I'm actually like out there doing something like mining, like all of the mining tunes, they don't need to have much of anything.
You don't really
but
need it unless
but
you're
one
doing
does.
PvP,
Now
probably.
Mace doesn't have the tac grid on, but my alt does, and I mean sometimes it's cool to see the difference and everything.
Like
but most of
mining
the
for
time I
sure,
don't
and like
use it.
even ratting, you probably don't need it. I would say PvP is like the only
Small
time. But in the PvP, it's
large
really
gang
useful.
PvP, yeah,
It's
you do.
very very useful.
Roaming. You need that. No. I always have my tactical.
Yeah, I always have it on.
because I don't do anything but PvP. So, so there you go. No,
right.
my mining characters have it on. I always have it on because it's good to know where shit is and how fast it's moving around you.
All right, so Dom, you have yours on all the time. Drayden, you have yours on all the time. So Mace,
Yes.
do you turn it on every on occasion?
No, my Mace window, my main character does not have it on at all. My alt, which is my mining alt, and my Sino alt has it on all the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it because it just lets you know, like, it's like, oh, you look at your optimal. It's like, oh, my optimal's 40 kilometers. And then you can kind of just, like, you don't have to sit there and look at the overview, and you can just kind of, like, glance at the thing, like, oh, they're getting out of my optimal, switch ammos or something.
I mean,
if I'm
you're
going to take the picture, I turn off all this shit, right? Yeah.
I've gotten so used to not using it with Mace. And that's who I PvP on Mace and everything and go on fleets. I've got so used to not using it that it would be kind of weird to use it.
Yeah.
Tactical overlay or
You
I have the tactical overlay on.
You are a
Always,
tactical
right?
enjoyer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm tactical all the time.
It does show bubbles.
For me,
doesn't it?
it's variable. It depends on what I'm doing. I said if the activity I'm doing it benefits me, then it's on. And but if all I'm doing is buzzing around like high second and interceptor or like just traveling, like no.
Yeah.
No, that's even more important.
Dom,
What are you talking about?
he's not saying it doesn't show like Dictor bubbles. He's saying that what it used to do if you have the 3D thing on, like if you hover over a web, if you just have the thing he was on without the 3D, it's just going to show that 2-dimensional circle at the 10 kilometers for your web.
Oh, not this.
But if you have the 3D, it's going to show like a 10-kilometer sphere, red sphere around your ship showing your web range.
I didn't realize you could turn that off. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, the sphere would be cool. But I'm fine with it just being a circle because if someone's above, like I said, above or below the plane, they're gonna have a line going down to the plane at the distance that they are from you in that direction, and then you can just judge if they're in and out of the. But.
So you're talking about like, hover over like it does Sino. It shows you the Sino.
Yeah, it shows like the Sino. Yeah,
the
Sino range.
Bubble bubbles. It doesn't do that.
Yeah. Like Dictor bubbles are still gonna show. Like you're gonna see the bubble.
If the bubble's up itself, he's talking about like.
Yeah, he's saying like the little red range indicator bubble. Like if you hover over weapons or E-War or anything like that.
Yeah, now I get it now. I didn't understand. I understand.
Did we want to do some patch notes?
Would anybody like to know the cheapest season tickets at the Brave Stadium?
No.
Well, you're going to know anyway. It's $2,400 per seat.
Christ.
Wow. Where?
at the Atlanta Braves Stadium.
Oh,
Baseball.
Wait.
I signed up a while back to get season tickets, just like information. And they called me today and they were wanting to see if I wanted the 2025 season tickets. And they sent me an email. And the cheapest ones are $2,500.
So Alex, that particular bug is my personal like biggest annoyance in the game that exists.
It has plagued me every so often because it's like a ticking time bomb, especially when I'm running sites on when I'm exploring. It's I don't know. It just happens randomly and for seemingly no reason. I don't know why.
Yep.
you
And
have
the
to
only thing
log,
that fixes it is logging in.
logging out. And
Was
back
it
in.
the radio
The
menu?
radio menu,
Oh.
radio menu just will randomly stop working.
I would
sometimes.
never know. I've never used the radio menu.
It
We
is
were trying to
so
discuss
didn't-
that.
It was one of those things. Like I guess some people really got into it, but I'm just like I'm just so used to doing shit before the radio menu existed that I'm just like, I know I know exactly where I need to click to do the menus instead of like, because I've tried to use the menu thing and it's like, and I'm sure if I practiced it I'd get faster, but I'm just like, it took me 3 times longer to set an orbit on the radio menu than I could have just right clicked orbit at 5 kilometers, you know.
So for me, Drayden, I have to say I think it was the radio menu is a buff to multi-boxer. Like if you just memorize where stuff is, like it just makes it really.
I
quick
hate the
and
radio
easy.
menu.
What's up, Dirk?
It pisses me
I
off.
love the radio menu.
It pisses me off sometimes.
Life
I know it
is-
doesn't bug me, but I don't know. I've never gotten into it, so I just don't use it.
Hey, Dirk.
It does bug me because sometimes I'll be like clicking on something, I'll accidentally click and hold, and I'll go to move my mouse and I'll accidentally use the radio menu and it'll be like boop boop boop. I'm like,
Yeah,
what did I
that's
just
what happens
do?
to me. It pisses me
Oh
off.
no, I just
Yeah.
activated something. I have no clue what the fuck it is. It's like warp drive active. Like control
I didn't mean
space,
to dock.
control
What
space.
the
Where the
fuck?
fuck am I going?
I if you don't like the radio menu, I believe there's an option to change the time that you have to hold the mouse button click, I think, or something like that.
Oh no, I don't want to
think
change
it's in the
any.
option menu.
Absurdly
I like
long.
having options available. I just will never use it. So
You love it?
it's-
Okay. Well, yeah. Fair enough.
Fair enough. So, in
Patch or yeah.
we're talking about the FPS thing. Positive, but
I like it,
everything's- It's positive thing, right? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone that would get upset about
I can't see why.
increased
Yeah. Why?
performance.
Oh
You know-
no, there's people upset about it.
Of course there is.
Of course.
It
there's-
does.
We made it to where
It
your
wouldn't
client will be
be-
about 10 to 30% more efficient and faster. Fuck you, CCP.
But want to be Canadian? I'll take that. Will you
My
take me,
particular
LV?
niche setup doesn't have a smoother FPS
Well, yeah.
CCP.
If you've got a really, really old video card on a high-end computer, then I could see you're not gonna be happy, right?
It doesn't work for me. Well, enable DirectX 12. No. Well, get fucked, I guess. What do you want? I don't know. Just fucking people.
And back.
You know what's wrong with the internet? People.
That's true. It
They
should just be
ruined it.
all
Yeah,
AI
people.
bots.
They did fucking ruin it.
A bunch of AI bots just making AI music and a bunch of AI bots listening to the AI music and making
And then AI
bot
bots complaining
responses
about
and
the
then
AI music.
it's so dumb. Like I saw
I would
something
love
someone was
to
mentioning.
see-
Oh, good.
I would love to see the end result of a bot that we just like have it go through all of the open proms archive footage. And just see what comes out the end.
Oh. Like,
Yeah,
remember in Avengers when they made Ultron?
Yeah.
We just had an Ultron version of Dirk.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
gonna be
Would we get Ultron or would we get Vision?
it's gonna be people making weird facial
Definitely
expressions with like a bottle of Tito's osmosiating into your face. Like no, that's basically what it's gonna be.
I think Dirk showed up because of the fucking Yingling thing. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, drink it and he will come.
Drink it, he'll come. I like it.
That's gonna be out of
Mhm.
context. That wasn't great, but
Drink it and he will come.
Drink it and he will come. You don't know that.
Jesus, fuck.
Just go ahead and drink it. Like, what?
Giggity.
All right, so we they added some new billboard ads. So I like that they keep doing the rotation on that. Some good stuff. But
Agree.
the Drifter Crisis. I haven't really been keeping up to date with the Drifter Crisis. Is anyone else doing that thing?
Well, they said the latest
No.
results.
Yeah, there was a there's another thing we can get in on that, but
Is there a pulse also?
okay. So
There,
they got
There
rid
was
of
one
people
earlier this
oversizing the fleets, getting payouts apparently. So now you got to bring the actual size that's intended.
We're talking about the patch notes.
Yeah, patch notes.
Yeah,
I can
patch
put a
notes.
link in there. If
Got
you
it. I'm good.
Got it.
You talk about the 7 new billboards?
Yeah, they put they did some more rotation on the ads. So that's solid. I don't think they mentioned which ones, but they'll be in the station. They'll be out in front of stations.
I would like a
They'll be on
list.
gates.
I would like a list
That'd be
too.
a nice list.
I'm curious.
And why aren't we on the list?
We were on the first either the first or the second set was.
Our
yeah,
ad is
hit on
running.
it.
Is it still
It
running?
runs. Yep.
Yeah. Don't they cycle old ones out? Like when they cycle new ones in, they take some out. I thought.
I don't know.
Because so I think that's what they're doing so that they could like, make sure that everyone gets turned, and they'll cycle in and out. So like maybe ours is back, but I know that it was either the first iteration run or the first time they put new ones in. We had ours running. I remember some people saying they saw the ad on there.
Mm-hmm. I saw it the other day.
Oh, then we're back cycled in, or we never left.
Maybe.
No, I
Uh,
spent enough time on my Gita tuna. I would have noticed. We definitely left for a while.
They cycle
Then
them.
we're
Yeah,
back.
it's kind of cool if they cycle them through. That's
Yeah.
cool.
That way, it's
Well,
not like
Is anybody here a Mercoxic miner?
I may have mined Mercoxit for about 5 minutes at some point in my life.
Back in 2013.
Oh, people
Probably
are happy.
back then. Yeah, I'm
People
sure.
are happy
Maybe
with the changes. Big time
I
miners.
think
you
I've
told me.
spent about 4 hours mining out of the 12 years I've been playing this game. So, not a lot of time.
I can't lie, I've been mining a lot here lately.
The one thing I've never done, I've never huffed gas.
I've never done that.
it's
I have.
I kind of want to try it.
you
it's
should.
it's a slippery slope.
It's a
Drew.
rush.
Get
It's a
hooked
rush
on it?
train.
I don't know.
The
It's
best
like,
high
you
you'll
gotta
ever
go
have.
into the wormholes for that. It's scary.
They can get it in low sec,
bunch of
but then in low
crackheads in
sec you
there.
usually get killed.
In Malpais, yeah, isn't there that one? Oh wait, Malpais. That's blue to me. I can just go. Wait, you tell me I can just go huff gas in my own neighborhood? Fucking
In the,
it.
in the comfort of your own home.
Oh my god, right on the street corner out front? Damn.
Don't forget wormholes too, man. They got them in.
Mexico.
Yeah,
got
I
that
do
one,
live.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of have lived in Malpais. I mean, I was doing the BFL thing, but I haven't done
Kinda where
BFL
you
stuff.
live?
I haven't done BFL stuff in a while, so I'm not really deployed. Well, I'm kind of deployed out there, but I've been kind of hanging out when we're not doing roams and I'm just basing out of Jita to get ships. I've been
It
just
sucks
kind
when
of
your enemies have to tell you where
just
you
been
live.
kind of hanging out in MJ and just going on some fleets with Unlucky a bit, a couple times.
Yeah, you missed a good one earlier.
That was a
That
good
really
one.
interesting.
Yeah, I think I told Skyrocket was there, but I don't. Or no, LB, you were there too. But yeah, so Unlucky Fleet. It was on like Monday or Tuesday, I think. We were going on interceptors, and so the Hectors have. We kind of talked about this last week, but Hectors have points or have Sinos now.
Yeah.
And one of an interesting tactic, I didn't think about this, but when we were out on this interceptor roam, so a thing that this person tried is if there's small ships, because when someone lights a Sino, like in a recon, roaming games will be like, oh, there's a Sino over there. That ship's locked down for 5 minutes, and you can usually burn over and kill it, because most Sino ships that are just moving capitals around aren't gonna really be tanked enough to, and they're gonna have weapons or anything either.
Throwaways.
So
Yeah,
so you can basically just go in there and get a recon kill and get out. So what they're doing though is like this Hector, it sits on the undock and it lights a Sino as bait, and then when ships warp in to shoot at it, because if you don't have a bookmark
Hold on.
on the station already, you're gonna have to warp, to it, and then you land in there, and then it like waits, and like as soon as you start shooting it, it'll like, or even before you start shooting it, as soon as you land in there, it'll bubble up. It's Hictor bubble, and then they activate the PDS on the Fortizar or the
Brilliant.
the Keepstar. And then if you're small frigates, they annihilate the whole fleet. It kind of like it's like a new aged pipe bomb, but a little different. So I was like, that's kind of cool. But we juked it, so we were outside the bubble. Almost got fucked because one of our guys like came in and bubbled up as we landed. Like, what are you doing? And we burned out. And...
It's essentially resurrecting then some gameplay moves that we saw shortly after Citadels were first introduced, where you were using like you'd set bait on them. Like it's the exact same thing. So actually, I like
with
that.
with a bubble activity.
Yeah.
To it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I like this.
Yeah, and it's cool. So that was a neat tactic, but it didn't catch us with it. And so we warped off, and the PDS runs for 12 seconds and then has a 3-minute cooldown, apparently. So as soon as the PDS finished, we warped back in, killed the Hictor, there's a Phobos. And then while they did that, they undocked a Golem, and he went into Bastion and started shooting us. And so we're like, I killed the Golem, but we're like, okay, we're on a 3-minute timer. We're probably not going to break through him before the PDS recharges, but we'll just like wait.
You gotta try.
The Hictor's gone, so it's like we could just, as soon as the PDS activates, we warp off. We were in like nano interceptors or whatever, so they get off fast enough. And so we get this Golem to like quarter shields or quarter armor or something. And then we warp off as the PDS activates, and he's stuck because he's in Bastion, and he just eats shit to the PDS because
he died to it.
He died. Well, I think he almost died. We came back and finished him. He was like in structure or something, but he basically ate shit to his own PDS and died, trying to catch us.
That's funny.
It was fucking hilarious. So it's like I've been having fun with that, and then. I was watching a Lucky stream earlier, and like they were doing, the Hictors. Now, if you bubble or scram someone, you can't take the Ansiplexes anymore. So it's like they just they sit there. You can now bubble gate camp on an enemy's Ansiplex, and if someone just jumps through, you bubble up, and they can't go back through, and you just kill them.
Yep, we had that nag tackled earlier. So
yeah, did you guys end up killing that? I watched it. Like you guys had him. He was isolated, but he was like repping faster than you could damage him. You guys had what, maulers and ruptures?
We were stuck. I mean, we were not even, as far as I know, we were not even going for a nag. We were just going to go ref the Ansiplex. And we got there, and they started forming, and then they jumped through, and a nag was on field, and we're like, oh shit! So started duking it out, but yeah, we couldn't take it, and then I guess somebody from Goons or whatever just messaged Mr. Unlucky and was like, hey, can we third party on this?
Yeah.
So they came and helped finish him off, and then we and Goons had a little bit of a brawl afterwards. So
okay. Was that the Cyclones, or Cyclones was the frat guys, right?
Yeah, Cyclones were in the frats, and Goons were in Kikimoras. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was yeah. So I'm liking the new. I like the Sinos on Hictors. I think that's very fun. Allows for
it's a solid change.
Yeah,
I was a little hesitant
the whole
at first. I like
making Ansiplexes a little less safe as well, because they are kind of OP for travel, and I like that they're not getting rid of them or adding jump fatigue on them. But now there is risk with them, so I think that's pretty cool. We kind of derailed off of the patch notes, but.
Oh, it's sort of kind of twisted in there a little.
Yeah, I mean, I forget what it was, but it just something that we were talking about in the patch notes, like brought that up to my mind.
What part are we on right now?
Bob Ross.
There's a lot going on in the patch notes.
For what?
Been a lot going on.
The SOB changes with the major threat upgrades. That's a pretty big deal.
What?
Be back.
The patch notes.
That was a long time ago. Here, look at the date.
I'm looking at the 3.19.1.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
That was
at.
from like 2 days ago.
Where?
Patch notes.
Oh, anomalies.
The anomalies.
No,
Anemones?
anemones.
3.19. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Not
so
crazy.
No, I know.
You don't know
if
for
you look
sure.
at the sites will now appear
I
when a
didn't know
soft
until
hub
I had to
upgrade
look
is
at it.
activated,
Yeah.
and you will no longer need to wait until the next downtime for this. Ah, okay, so I
12
didn't even know you
minutes.
had to wait for that. So that's you're running a system. You can work
there you
on
go.
shit right away.
Makes a difference to people, not to me. But
Oh yeah, that's I was kind of thinking that too, Tamer. Anomalies. Do 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 do. Anomalies.
my brain
Do
went too.
do 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 do.
Do-do-do, do-do-do.
Do 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 do. Anomalies.
What's wrong with me?
Spaceship
Yeah,
scanning
what do
stiletto.
what do people think about the ANSI change, the bubbling and ANSI?
I like that too. I think it's
good.
great.
Yeah,
It's going to allow
like I
a
said in
lot of
chat,
shit getting blown up.
it should be a risk because it is providing a huge convenience for you.
Yeah.
By skipping jumps and or going through jump gates and stuff like that. So
Now
I
there's a
think
risk trade-off to the massive
mobility.
benefit they apply. I mean, because you look at some of the big empires. I mean, I can go from fucking the edge of Vale, like you can go from Peregrine Falls or whatever down to Omist in about 10, 12 jumps, when normally that'd be like 30 to 40. So, now that's not so safe anymore. I mean, if you scout yourself with a shuttle, I mean, you can do that. Because I mean, shuttle can warp off. Shuttle can warp off of the bubbles, or if you lose a shuttle, who gives a shit? But then it's date, and then not to jump through. So I mean, like, if people are scouting appropriately, it should still be safe enough. But
well, the big change is you can't take the ANSI if you're scrammed, right? That's a big change.
Yeah. Well, it's basically like if you jump to the ANSI, if people are if enemies are on the other side waiting for you, you can't, and it's not like you can't just crash gate like you could a Stargate too. So
exactly,
if they get a scram on you, you're fucked. Or if they
Which,
bubble up, you're fucked.
That's the aspect that I like, because it shouldn't be as powerful as a gate, right? You can just crash the gate back because the gate's not controlled by.
But gate's going from one system to the other. This isn't
correct.
jumping
It's not
across a
controlled by the
region.
stop holder. This is controlled by the stop. I like the fact that it's now.
Yeah, because if you crash a Stargate, the
as
enemy
somebody
fleet,
who's affected majorly by them, I like them.
Yeah, like you crash a Stargate, the enemy fleet can jump back through with you if they're not aggressed and still catch you on their side. They can't jump through your Ansiblex and follow you, to the other side of the constellation or something.
So there should be some type of
yeah. So it's there's a trade-off.
Yeah, it's a good
like
trade-off. It is a great trade-off. I agree. There you go. Trade-off's the right word. That's good. I like it. Like I said, and I'm from a group that benefits greatly by Ansiplexes, right?
Same.
In the Imperium, we benefit greatly by this, and I 100% agree with these changes.
So Sov anomalies. Yeah. So
what?
Sov anomalies. This is the thing you're talking about. On
It sound right though. It sounded gross.
Some anomalies. So yeah, when you put the Sov upgrade in, the things spawn right away instead of having to wait for downtime. That's good. I mean, these are all just kind of QOL stuff. Major threat. What's a major threat 3 upgrade? See, I don't do any of the Sov stuff, so I don't know what any of these actually do. Isogen prospecting array 2, I'm assuming makes Isogen show up. That's my guess.
No, it does not do that, I don't think.
Makes Grimir deposits show up.
Really? Dirty fucking large Macoxics. There you go. Fuck them.
Drifter Crisis, Deep Flow Rift, yeah. Then there's another patch the day before. Graphics.
This is the one we were just talking
This
about.
is yeah, we talked about this, yeah.
Graphics.
They also have balancing in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is one I've talked to some people who do a lot of mining, and they're actually pretty happy with this change.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm out of my own with mining. I have no
very-
clue what this is.
Oh, you know, Skyhawk, yeah.
Miners are happy from. I mean, I'm not currently really, but
There are people who would like Dawn Ray.
Unicorp,
We all
they're
know who
happy.
she is. She's a
Yeah.
big miner. She's back playing the game mining because these are positive changes. So that's a good thing for
good.
CCP.
need to get Dawn on one of these things. You should invite her on, Dom.
No,
Why?
no,
So you gotta listen to Don.
no, that's not why. Because She can't come on and talk about stuff because she's a director at Imperium, so it's not as much fun to have
Oh.
around.
Oh, she's
She
like
has to
but
follow
there's rules.
she has to
Riddled-
follow
riddled with
rules and
NDAs or
stuff.
something?
Yeah,
Rules.
exactly. I know. Yeah.
Lame.
So she's
Yeah.
banned from from going on shows, is what you're
No, I
saying.
don't think she is, but she can't talk about a lot because she's
Yeah.
in the know.
That was like when the tournament thing was going on because like people were like, well, what about this ship? You're gonna see that? I was like, I can't say because I can't be talking about like comp strats or anything like that. So I'm just like, yeah,
You did.
that
You
ship's-
did once and got fucking spanked.
I got spanked a little bit, but I was like, yeah, that ship sounds
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
we practice against them all the time. No, we don't.
Oh
Drayden.
yeah, that was just
No, we don't.
Yeah, yeah, like we were
I love my
Radicos and I were
episode.
going
No,
over
we
some of the
don't.
teams and you know, some of the teams get one of them was like nanite, I think nanite toothpaste or nanite something. I was like, oh, those guys, yeah, we've practiced against them several times. And Radicos was like, no, we haven't. I'm like, oh,
apparently
you're
we
right.
haven't.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I
No,
was
we
like,
haven't.
I
We
know.
would never.
It's like, oh, I guess that
That's
was
funny.
some OPSEC I wasn't supposed to say. Okay, my bad. I didn't think saying who we practice against was a big deal. I was like, okay, obviously, like what ships they brought, what comps we, you know, that's something you can't say, but you know,
Nanite
whatever.
toothpaste. That gives me an idea real quick. Okay. I'm gonna open
Got
up
brush your
Photoshop.
teeth or
Photoshop.
oh, Photoshop.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a little. Yeah, I'm gonna Photoshop nanite toothpaste.
But yeah, like if you're like, oh, what ships are good? I'm like, that ship's probably fine, and I couldn't really say like, oh yeah, that thing's fucking OP. Everyone's using it, or
Broadcast repair target. A hotkey for that.
Yeah.
Is that a big deal?
Is it?
Logi
Yep.
pilots rejoice.
yes, yeah. So we did, yeah. This is excellent for Logi pilots. More so in bigger fleets. Not only bigger fleets, but where there's multiple fleets that are allied to each other. So you'll have, let's say, PL and Horde have a fleet, and then Slice has a separate fleet or something. If us in the Horde fleet isn't getting shot, our Logi are just sitting on their thumbs doing nothing. But if someone can look over, I mean, I'll try and do that. If you're in range, you can look over and be like, okay, you just see the enemy fleet. They're all focusing that guy. So that guy's the primary over there. Maybe we could send reps. But there was no way for, like, the best thing you do is like, hey, rep this guy. And people would have to like switch to their blue overviews, try to find them. And by then it's too late. They've either killed the guy or swapped to another target. So if you could just right click and broadcast, hey, everyone rep this guy or rep this ship, even though they're not in your fleet, everyone can just click on the broadcast, and you know, so it's like you can now have multiple Logi wings from different fleets helping one person. So it's very helpful for Logi if they want to multitask, and like if your fleet's not getting shot, you can still help. Granted, you're close enough. Sometimes you're like, well, they're getting shot, but they're 60 kilometers away. My reps aren't going to do shit, so fuck it. But there are times where it would definitely help.
Val.
What else? Fucking.
Yeah, I wish you could stick your own drones on yourself,
God.
but
I swear
why
I
can't
played the
you?
game.
Yeah, why can't you?
why can't your drones rep your own ship? Although by that logic, you should be able to shoot yourself with your own drones too. Hmm.
Can't target
Yeah.
yourself. That's why.
Well, that's a skill issue.
Oh, that attitude.
Not with that attitude. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try this actual drink that
Wow.
I wanted.
What's the actual drink you wanted?
So it's supposed to be like I just made a screwdriver, but it's supposed to be vodka, orange juice, and like a little bit of orange juice, and then a bunch of this fruit punch.
Should do
What's,
rum,
what's that
orange
drink
juice,
called?
and
I don't know if
stop.
it's called anything. Is it like a sex on the beach? I don't know.
No,
The
that's
Drayden,
not-
the
that's
Drayden
not-
special?
Mhm.
Sex in the
It looks
closet,
like
maybe.
V8. It doesn't look very appealing, but it tastes pretty
No, it
good
does
actually.
not.
Actually, pretty good. That's pretty good.
Looks like a watermelon.
I'd buy that for $1. Which actually
Did.
that saying these days probably means it's shit because anything you buy for $1 probably sucks.
That looks like sludge water. Yeah.
You can't buy shit for $1 now.
Yeah, Probably not.
You probably can't.
Someone's like, you want my shit? $2, bitch.
$2.50.
That premium.
I just
that's
miss
what-
the-
yeah.
I just miss the days of my youth when we actually had, the McDonald's dollar menu was a real thing.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
glad I don't use eggs for a lot because I was like at the store today. I looked, the entire egg shelf was completely empty.
Eggs.
Did the egg
so
prices
I-
drop or something? What happened?
No, they're probably still like $6 or $7 for a dozen, but everyone's just buying them up.
I just went grocery shopping at Costco a couple days ago, and it was $6.99 for 2 dozen.
What? That's some
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
That's pretty
prices.
good.
Last time I
Yeah.
well,
How much?
$6.99 for 2 dozen at Costco here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, this
Huh.
past Wednesday.
that's
I just checked my local.
I don't-
grocery.
About
I-
half what you were. Yeah.
I
that's
still
good.
have like
Bob
7 or 8 eggs in the fridge. I bought like 2 or
Okay.
3 weeks ago. I think it was like $6.80 for a dozen.
And you could get like I want to say it was only like 50, maybe $60 for like the big thing that's like 6 or 7 dozen. Like there's a
Who
giant
eats
thing
that
of
many
eggs you can
eggs?
buy.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
people who eat eggs.
Dude,
It's
I
Costco, LB. You buy it in bulk.
I usually
yeah,
buy
I
the
guess.
half dozen eggs because like usually when I buy eggs, I'm like, I want to make an omelet. And so I'm like, I will buy the eggs just for the 3 eggs I need. And then after that, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of these because
So-
I don't really eat
Yeah,
eggs that
I've been
often.
eating
So-
3 eggs a day. What do you mean?
So
I know.
for those in the audience that don't know, eggs are one of those things that very much so like the best by date on the carton. Disregard it. Your eggs are good for weeks after that. Literally, if
Usually.
your eggs pass the float test,
Yeah.
if it's too far past it, I'll give them the float test.
The reason,
And if they float, get the fuck rid of it. Don't break that shell. You don't want it. But I've had eggs like
you don't do the
3
lick
weeks
test?
I've had eggs like 2 to 3 weeks past the best by date, and they're perfectly fine.
and the thing is like the reason why they are even have as short of expiration date as they do is because they wash them.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't, and that's why they have to be
Farm fresh lasts a
refrigerated
long
too.
time.
Like if you don't wash them, you don't have to refrigerate them, and they're good for like a month and a half or something. But as soon as you wash them, it gets rid of that
fresh
coating
eggs.
on the outside, and then it's like now you're on like a 2 week,
Yeah,
two
neighbor- I
to
got
3 week
neighbors.
timer. Yeah.
Two houses down has chickens. It has eggs every
One
week.
of the guys that work at my work has chickens, and he'll bring eggs in for people, and he'll like my brother and stuff. He gives them like a dozen eggs for like $3.
I have a
Uh,
friend that has a little hobby farm, and I got some duck eggs from them once. They're pretty good.
Oh, are they
Yeah,
amazing? aren't
he has
they?
ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got 2.
Duck eggs are really.
He's got like
good.
2 ducks and like
So-
4 chickens.
One of the telco manager at work, he's got chickens, and he doesn't. His rule is you bring in an empty carton, and he will bring it back to you with full, basically, because they've always got like sitting out on their counter at least like multiple dozens of eggs, and it's just him and his wife and their like 2
It's because of what a neighbor does. He just has a little shack. He puts the eggs out there. You bring your own carton, fill it up, and leave. And you leave your $3.
Yeah.
$3 a dozen. for a dozen.
And then there's another guy in the office, actually, our sys has admin. He's got ducks, and I don't think they've started producing yet, but that's the plan with them. Although, kind of funny / sad thing, depending on your perspective, happened with his ducks a couple months ago that I wanted to share. His ducks got out. And he's in a kind of rural area, but he does have one neighbor close by, and she had a pair of very expensive koi fish in a pond. The ducks got out and then attacked and murdered these $2,000 a piece giant koi fish. Whoops.
Sorry for laughing, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Fuck fish.
Well, so
If fish costs more than $1.50.
so here's
I mean,
the
I don't
thing.
recommend it.
Here's the thing that I'll add to that.
Don't
though,
fuck
that
fish.
makes the story sad. It was an elderly woman that lived there
fuck
they were her fish.
They
They're-
can't be
those-
murdered. They're
those-
fish. Yeah.
Those fish were actually her husband's like pride and joy, and he passed away a couple years ago.
Did
There's
she-
sentimental
did she
value on
feed
those
him?
fish.
Did
That's
she
that
feed
double
did.
sad.
Yeah.
Did she feed him to
so-
him? She didn't feed her husband to him.
No,
Then I don't give a
no,
shit.
Hmm.
Fuck these fish.
No, I mean there's sentimental
They're
value
still
there. That's
fucking
like
carp.
the guy
They're
that's
carp.
like the guy
They're
that
the
in
worst
that
fish
video he's like in the windstorm holding up the tree. or whatever, trying to keep it from going down.
Yeah, that was an interesting day when the sysadmin like had
Bony
to
ass
rush
fish.
out of the
Oh my
office
God.
because he got a call from his wife that the neighbor was there, saying that the ducks had gotten out and had killed.
No,
expensive
murdered. You said
fish.
murdered.
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 Premeditated
Premeditated murder.
fucking
It
Felony
was
murder.
more
It's
it was
felony
more
murder.
just callous viciousness because they were like what they essentially did was just like
Criminally negligent homicide.
they continued to scratch and peck at them essentially. Like death by 1,000
So
cuts,
mutilation of a
basically.
corpse and on top of the fucking
Mm.
murder.
Yeah, like just callous
No, what's that called?
viciousness.
Abuse of a
Was it
corpse.
murder or was it koi slaughter?
Murder.
Murder?
Yeah.
Murder.
Like murder
Then-
2?
No, murder one. It's premeditated. They fucking
Mm.
planned. They knew what they were doing.
They
They
planned it?
broke
They
out of
escaped
prison.
from their
They-
cell,
Yes. Went over there and murdered those fucking fish on purpose.
infiltrated another pond,
And then ate them.
murdered the
They're
fish.
cannibalistic fucking dirt
Well, they weren't
balls.
other ducks, so it's not
Not cannibals.
cannibalism.
They're not cannibals, are you?
They
Right.
crossed
They're
the
just
border
awful.
to do
I mean,
that.
if
They
eating
crossed
another
the
animal
border
is
when they
They're
cannibalism,
still
were
we're all
animals.
cannibals.
Yeah, you're right.
but
You're right. You're right. They're not cannibals. They're just awful. Awful, awful ducks.
Ducks are kind of assholes.
They
Got
are.
bit by a duck once. They're dicks. Yeah.
They're not as
Yeah.
big of an asshole as Canadian geese, which, by the way, LB, your scouts have already reached the area. I see them
Yeah.
looking
Take
and
'em
trying
back.
to pick out where they're going to put their nests and have
Look.
the fucking anchor babies. And goddamn, I
murder
want
them.
to export them.
No, stomp on them.
All you
Or eat
got to
'em.
do, assert dominance, walk head high, don't be afraid, and these fuckers will get out of your way.
Flap
Don't
your
let
arms
them
at
get the
'em.
So
best of you.
I
Don't
think
let
it
them
was
smell
l-
fear.
Instructions
think-
unclear. I'm missing my right leg and paralyzed from the neck down.
So
what-
last
what
spring,
happened?
I was down at the big park that's not far from me that I like to go to, and there's this one path where you're on like a raised like dirt path where it's water on both sides for an extended distance. And there was a mommy and a daddy and like 6 little babies. And I only had like a 4-foot wide path to like walk past them. And the only way that I got past them was by being more aggressive than they were. I had my big water bottle with me, and I was literally just shaking it and beating it and just basically being as loud as possible, like full caveman mode. And just they screech, flap their wings, and like
I
fuck
once
off
told my
down to the
10-year-old boy.
water.
I once told my 10-year-old boy, "Hey, see that bird over there? Go pet it. They love to be
Yeah.
pet."
I never see them
Yeah.
landed. The only time I ever see Canadian geese, they're just flying overhead, going, "Wah, wah, wah," just
So it's
making all the
hilarious
noise.
watching
They
fucking
never stop
screaming
here.
over you.
A couple days ago, I went down to that same park, and I was walking through an area where it's just a giant meadow, and there was probably 30 of them just wandering through the grass, picking at and looking for food,
Shitting everywhere.
shitting
Shitting everywhere.
literally everywhere.
Greasy,
It's-
sweaty shit.
It's the fucking scouts ahead of the invasion right now too. I'm telling you.
Shit screw corkscrews.
So descriptive, Dom. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. So these patch notes, did we get through?
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Talking about fucking Canadian geese.
Cobra
I can-
chickens. Well, how did they even get the name
Yeah,
Cobra chicken?
I heard that somewhere, and I refused to let it go.
'cause they're
and I
big chickens
believe
and
I'm
they
the one that
hiss?
introduced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I've never heard that before. Cobra
Yeah.
chickens. Yeah.
Yep.
I get it. No, it makes sense. Their heads are kind of cobra shaped. I get it.
Yes.
We may have,
Next, yeah.
we may have done all the patch
They
notes.
taste like chicken.
Yeah.
The saddest thing I've seen with them though was last summer I saw a very aggressive female with one baby, and she was very protective of it, like more aggressive than is
It's the
typical.
last one left.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was like, "Ooh, there's some trauma there."
Oh yeah.
Oh, if you didn't know, Delana posted, or a bunch of people posted some stuff in the Eve New Orleans Discord. I think they started the event today.
Formal start was today,
Formal
but people
was
started
yeah. Most
rolling
people got
like
in yesterday, and some people got in
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, but most people got in yesterday.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures in there. That's really
shots
cool.
to all of our friends having fun in NOLA. Sad I can't be there.
Yeah, hope everyone's having fun. I actually, I was at work and like every 3 seconds, like boom, boom. I gotta mute this channel. So I was like, one, I have stuff that I can't have this keep popping up over the two. Like FOMO is hitting hard, so I was like, nah.
That's where I'm
That is
at.
hitting
I'm
hard.
I'm not going to.
Yeah,
'cause
Rage
I'm
Glass.
off
Rage
work the
Glass
rest
and
of the
Evnola.
weekend.
There you go. Have a
Yep.
good
I'm
Hope
off
they're having
the,
fun.
the rest of the weekend, and I'm going to just catch up on all of those photos Sunday night or Monday morning.
I think they're doing the
But
crawfish boil tomorrow.
38 days from today is when a bunch of us will be landing in.
Was that 39
take
days
that.
from yesterday, though?
Yeah. Skyhawk's got a thing that every time he wakes up, he's like, guess what? 37 and a half more days.
Keep track of it. I pay attention. I'm ready. My body's ready.
Oh, I can't fucking wait, man. Oh my god.
It's gonna be fun. Oh. I don't know if I like this Goomba picture with him licking his lips all sexily. That's disturbing.
I think
What the fuck
Drayden's
are
the
you
only
talking
one that
about?
doesn't get in at the same time as most of us. Because you're a later arrival, right?
Yeah, I'm getting in around. I think Manic and I are gonna meet up at the
9.
airport and catch a ride or something. Hold on. I think we got most of the patch notes though, right? Was there any, where were we on
Yeah.
these? I think we hit most of them.
Yeah.
So we got this Drifter Hives. I kind of wish I was more involved in some of these events because they seem cool, but they're always like, "Oh, go to these sites." I'm like, but I gotta scan it down, and there's gonna be other people in there, and they're gonna try to shoot me.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm all down for PvP, but if I'm just like scanning down hacking sites, I just want to chill and do the hacking game. I don't want to have to worry about fighting people. So I like turn my PvP brain off when I do scanning. But
It's fair.
You can't do that.
I know you can't do that. Like that's how they get you. Get caught that way.
Loki
Yeah, how'd
Loki
they
is
get who?
always watching. Drayden.
Although like I do,
That makes sense. I get it. Yeah.
it's like, and I always I'm like, oh, but if I'm going to these sites, like I can't just bring like a fucking anathema or something. I gotta bring something with some defense. I gotta bring like an Astero or a Stratios, and then I try to fit it up. But if you fit it up for like hacking, you have no fitting space to like actually put any realistic damage in there at all. So it's like, okay, I'm either fitting this up for damage or hacking, or suck at both and do neither well. So it's you kind of have to focus the ship a little bit. Yeah,
Your
it's like-
best bet really is to fit a buzzard for pure Explo and then just not worry about losing it.
Yeah, I think I usually use mainly just because I already have a fit for it. And my guy started off with the Galente skill. So like, what's the Galente one? It's the
Not the Imicus. What's the T2
it's the T2 scanning, like
Yeah.
the
Leos?
covert ops.
Helios.
That's
That's
the
the
yes,
Galente one.
thank you. Yeah. So I usually have a
Yeah.
Helios that I go in. I do
But
like the
it's
Astero.
that's
But the thing is, like, the Astero is really cool, but the Astero is like 2 to 3 times the price of a Helios, and you're not going to be fighting in it, so why bother with the Astero? Unless you just want to look really cool, because the Astero looks fucking cool, and it's got some
It does look
cool
cool.
skins on it, too.
which is exactly why I fly it as
Yeah. Yeah, Helios is
Yeah,
pretty
but you're
good.
rich.
So are you?
No.
I do run.
What was the one that they were using at Christmas time? The Metamorphosis?
Doesn't new one yet. It's like the
That's
the
the
Destroyer?
That's the
SOCT
SOCT
one,
one, yeah.
destroyer, right?
No, it's
No,
a
frigate.
frigate.
The Destroyer
is
is the Sunesis, yeah.
Also, I have a little lump that is just letting me put him on his back, and he's just
Look at that butterball.
Yeah, the Metamorphosis, I think it's like the same as a lot of the other scanning, like the hacking frigates, but I thought it had like some other extra bonus that made it really good. But that's
Yeah,
also
let me
why they're
fucking-
like 100 million for a frigate or something. They're expensive. I don't know. Maybe they're not that anymore. But I remember looking. I was like, Metamorpho. I was like, oh, that looks really good. And I looked at the price. I'm like, never mind. Could also be like limited because you can't build them really. You get them from events. Like they just hand some out sometimes.
It's got 37.5% bonus to core scanner probe strength.
Yeah. I think most
What
of them get that.
what kind of ship are they?
Deviation, 37.5% bonus to deviation. It's a frigate.
It's the Society of Conscious Thought frigate.
Yeah.
So you'll probably
Yeah, okay,
have to look
got
at
it.
like
Here we go,
pirate
yeah.
frigates.
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, 10 plus bonus to relic and data analyzer virus strength.
Yeah.
2 plus bonus to ship warp core strength. That's
I think
what,
that's
why people were
that's what it
using
is. Yeah, that's so they're basically like a normal hacking frigate with the warp core strength bonus. So it's harder for them to get caught.
It's
so
like a
they're
hacking venture.
yeah, they're really really good. But yeah, again, I think maybe they're cheaper now, maybe they're more now. But I think last time I looked, they were close to 100 million for the whole, and I was like, that's not.
Well, they're
worth
hard
it.
to catch, so there's probably not a
They
lot
are
of them
hard to
dying,
catch,
so
but you know what? I could
pricing
have
is what it is.
I could have 4
There
regular
are none
hacking.
on the market in Imperium space.
I could have 4 hacking frigates get caught and die for less price than that one ship. So
Probably,
I
yeah.
would probably just take my chances on the cheaper ones because they're like 30 million. So
Millet's in the public channel.
oh, million. Yeah. Hey yo,
I mean, yeah, be quiet.
I think I had.
I
See,
don't-
I
I
had
don't
one though
have
because
them
they
anymore.
give them
I guess I had
away every so often. They just give people for like login rewards, but I
Yeah.
was sold it because I saw the price tag on it. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'll cash out.
I flew a
Yeah,
Stratios once. I don't know if I could fly one again.
Oh, I've got
They're-
5 of them. I got 5 of them.
They're really cool. I like the
I'll take
Stratios.
one.
They're a cool
They're,
ship.
they're in
Which ship?
UAX, but yeah.
I lost one though because I
Stratios.
went into a
Oh.
wormhole and I didn't realize that. I think it was like a
They're not
C.
Stratios.
I think
They're
it was a C4 or a C3 wormhole. So like the rats, the sleeper rats that are at the hacking sites in there,
Mhm.
I didn't realize how strong they were. Because I was like, oh, there's only 3 of them. I could take 3 battleships in this thing. I got a rep and shit. And then I like started shooting one. All of a sudden, it's like they all are like pew pew pew. They all shot me once, and like all of my shield was gone, and like 2/3 of my armor was gone. And I was an armor tank ship. I'm like, oh no! I was like, align out, and then before I could even warp out, I died. I was like, all right. So don't fuck with the rats in the wormhole. Mr. Unlucky rating. What's up, guys?
Oh,
Hey.
hey.
Welcome,
Unlucky.
idiot viewers.
I've got
Yeah, so I was like, Stratios is not set up for those sites.
so I've actually got I can't remember if it was for C3 or C4s, but a Stratios fit that I used to use. It is like a 3 bill fit back in the day, even so I don't know what it would be now. But you could run those no problem, but it was dual rep.
yeah.
There was also a EWAR type that I know that one of our guys who does streaming a lot showed that you could use, but you were trying to pull the rats, keep them on you, while you had geckos or other drones out picking them off one by one. It was
Um,
very, very difficult
Stratios
to
or a
use.
different ship?
I was
Stratios.
watching Unlucky. I didn't join because I got home after you guys had already left, and then I only had like 45 minutes till I needed to start getting ready for here. So I was like, I don't have time, but I was watching. I saw you guys get in the fight with the Cyclones. You didn't quite. I guess I was talking with Alex. You guys eventually killed the Naglfar, and goons came in like third party, and you guys fought them. But the Naglfar was alive, and he was like tanking still. You guys were shooting him, then he would just rep up like his armor. That's about when I had to dip out. But so that was going on. It looked like a cool fight though. Like it looked like you guys were just destroying the fuck out. Was they Cyclone fleets or regular Cyclones? I feel like they were Cyclone fleets, and you guys were like maulers and ruptures and just destroying them. So that's pretty good. Which I was also like, I mean, were they armor ruptures? Because I was like, maulers and ruptures. I feel like ruptures are not normally thought of as an armor ship, but maybe. Yeah, the maulers
They're
seem
mixed.
good.
They can do either or.
Okay. Yeah, I figured. I was like, I mean, what's the other? What's up, Sager? The rupture, or not the rupture? The mauler. What's the Galente one? That would be like the armor one. Thorax is damage. It's not as much armor, but
Well, Vexor can do some stuff.
Exer. Yeah, but that's drones. You don't want
That's a
drones.
cruiser.
Yeah. I guess Thorax is what you use, but yeah, probably Rupture's
Maybe
probably
it's
better than
true.
Thorax. Yeah, I like the Thorax. I wish it was good. It just doesn't. It's a glass cannon, or it's a tank that does no damage. So I don't know. Phobos is cool. I like the Phobos is really good. Thorax is kind of meh.
Phobos used to be cooler. I don't think
I like the
it's good.
Phobos. Like doing the tournament stuff made me find very new appreciation for the Phobos.
Blaster Shield Thorax isn't bad.
Yeah,
I
it
wish
is.
the
Yeah, the
Deimos was
Phobos.
Yeah.
better. Like
I wish
really
the
like
Deimos
the
was better, too.
Deimos, but
Yeah, no, but the Phobos, you put Rails on the Phobos, like it can hit up close pretty well with antimatter, but you put like tungsten or even spike in, you can hit out to like 90 to 100 something kilometers away. No problem.
I do like the Deimos too. That's one of my
So
It's got that tracking though.
I want to start like if we start doing maybe some of these roams. I mean, if we're doing frigates and destroyers, we can do that. But like if we start doing any kind of cruiser shit, I might think about bringing like a Phobos or something.
I can't join you then, guys. You know that.
You get that alt. You can
we'll
bring.
get you there.
Yeah, they
that
can fly
attitude.
frigates and
You can't fly
destroyers.
like a T. Yeah, fly like a T1 destroyer. I'll fly a Phobos. You can fly a T1 destroyer.
Is that tune actively training or is it?
He's actively training. Yeah.
Oh, here's the
Okay.
rupture fit. Okay, let's take a look.
So eventually, so what we need to do is get down some skill points.
Okay,
She's
yeah.
training. She's training all the combat crap. It's just but
Okay,
still,
so
she's got
it's-
30. She has 31 million skill points. Not very much.
What's the DPS on that rupture? 'Cause it only has one gyro stab, but I mean that's probably fine, right? It's got some
Like
tank.
200 something.
Okay,
It's just
that's
what
a
I was
little
running
low
earlier.
for a cruiser, but I mean you got the survivability, so as long as you're putting damage out,
You gotta get
I
them
was
good in-
running.
you got some decent
Long
alpha
range
too
on
with
that.
the
Ray, are you paying
RDs.
attention?
Huh?
Paying
Yeah,
attention?
it's the alpha. That's what I was saying. Oh,
Whoa,
yep.
whoa, whoa.
Hold on, let's get him.
Yeah,
Got
that's what I was saying.
Thank you, Albie. I didn't like going
Hey,
into moderate mode.
fucking
do I.
bots.
I
Get
need
the
to
fuck
get you.
out of here, bots.
I was worried about accidentally fucking
how do you-
moderating
how'd you-
somebody.
Yeah, how'd you do that without going into mod mode?
You just
There's little
if you're
bubbles beside
you
him.
don't have to go into mod mode. If you're a moderator, you can just click on the name and there's a ban button, or next to yeah, you just click on his
Oh,
name. There's you can like do
okay.
whisper and all that stuff. There's a little ban button.
No one told me. I never knew.
Yeah, you don't have to go into mod mode to mod.
Okay, mod mode. There's
Mod mode. I've never used mod mode. I didn't even know that there was a mod mode.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
I
Because
don't.
you could
yeah,
do
I
a lot
don't-
of shit there that you shouldn't want to do.
Yeah, I don't like mod mode, especially. Well, I don't like mod mode while I'm drinking. I'll put it that way.
100%. You barely play
A
the game unless you're
misclick
drinking.
in mod mode is an oopsie, a big oopsie.
51k EHP before links. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. What's the DPS on the Maulers? I feel like it's gonna be higher than the Ruptures.
Yeah, maybe I should. I got.
Or is it same DPS as the Ruptures, but just like double the tank?
Like Maulers you can get up to like over like 80 percentile in certain situations.
I mean,
About
if you're going
75,
full tank,
so-
but I'm sure they have like some damage. I mean, you want to have some damage. 389 with multi, that's pretty good. I heard. I mean, not to give away the secret tech, but I heard you mention put Gleam in. So these were beam Maulers. I'm assuming then.
What?
They have to be. I mean,
Beam Maulers? Oh yeah, I guess.
I mean, but they do have
beam.
some range,
They're
yeah.
ballers. This is the baller fit. I'm in. Yeah, I would have gone on the fleet.
Oh shit!
My
I got Galante.
friends
I got to
couldn't
like
make-
Galante Cruiser 5 on that character. Never mind. I've got more choices than I
Oh
thought.
shit! Bring in Demos then.
I had no idea.
Thick boy.
I should start doing gunnery skills now.
How far up you up, Dominic?
This character,
Yes.
like 32 million maybe now. 31.9 million skill points.
So you're 10% of my main.
10% of my main. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. I think I thought your main was very close to where I'm at.
Yeah, I'll
But I've
be
been
going on
going
more.
with straight Galante crap is the problem.
I'll
You
be
guys
going
are
on.
fucking-
one of those
That's
on
what
my
I started with. Like I went through the whole Galente
Yeah,
ship tree basically minus minus caps before I started branching out.
That's pretty much
Which
what this one's
actually,
like, yeah.
that actually given to me from the beginning. I because I played in high sec for a couple years before I ever moved into Nolan, didn't really like have many other players like that I directly interacted with.
Praise
So I didn't have anyone to learn from, and I picked my character to be Galente. So I was like, well, I guess I'd fly Galente ships. And then I moved to Null, and they're like, okay, here's this doctrine and this doctrine. I'm like, well, I can't fly that.
Yeah.
But you did get access to a lot of the pirate ships because Galente's probably the easiest one to get into almost all the pirate ships, almost all.
Yeah.
I mean, but most of the pirate ships you have like dual, so that, I mean, you can always get in them. But I mean, if you don't have the solid bonuses to both racials that they have, I feel like it's less.
Oh,
And
praise!
once I was in Null and like started
praise
playing
God.
on fleets, I set up a long-term training plan for my main where I just methodically went through and trained every ship in the game, basically, for subs. And then after that, I doubled back and did the same for caps. Like at this point now, including any Titans, like my main can fly literally anything that is in the game.
Nope, I have not bought all the Titan books.
Yeah.
I finally did that a couple months ago.
Probably
Yeah,
should.
we'll be doing a Rome thing tomorrow evening, if anyone is interested.
And this is truly open to anyone. So out there in the audience, if you want to like come along on a fleet, you can. We're gonna be primarily like starting out of Thera, but you can start out in Jita if you need source a ship or whatever, and then meet us in Thera.
Yeah. As well as
You guys going to be there for the FFA?
the frigate one.
I'm going to
not.
If I am up on time, I'm going to, and I will stream it from the Open Comms channel.
Yeah,
I figured for you, Drayden, you'd be up, or it'd be too early for you.
When is it?
It's like late morning for me is when it starts.
Oh, so yeah, probably.
It'd be. I don't think you're getting up at like 7 a.m. tomorrow, are you?
Fuck no, not on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
I said maybe post a invite link to the Discord.
Saturday and Sunday, I generally don't wake up that early. Like I was for for like practice, I guess I would, but like it's like we got a fleet at 8 a.m. I'm like, you guys have a fleet at 8 a.m. I'm gonna be in bed till like 10 or 11. Sorry.
And let's see, I'm double. Okay, yeah, it starts at 1600 Eve time, which is noon my time. So it starts at 8 a.m. your time, actually, Drayden.
Yeah,
my math is.
I probably won't be there, but I'll be there for the Rome. Yeah, but like so, you could treat it like an MPSI. I'm gonna treat it like I'll shoot neutrals. So like again, I don't want anyone getting kicked out of their group for
sounds like Redline will be our FC again tomorrow. Sounds like he's got some specific plans and intentions for us. Something he said he wanted to try out, so we'll see. I'm really enjoying doing this every Saturday, though. I really want to keep it up.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Rome's going out. They're fun. What was the one that we did? It was LB's Wednesday night stream. That was a bummer because you guys are like, yeah, slide that we were doing. It was like faction warfare stuff because you guys are all in Garistas and the deathless stuff, and I'm not. But I was just like, I'll still fly around because if we catch any ships, I'll still shoot them. I think I was flying what the fuck was I? I was flying a Hawk. That's right.
Harpy or Hawk?
No, I was flying a Hawk. And for some reason I fit up with light missiles because I was assuming like, oh, you guys will have tackle, so I'll just hang out at like 20, 30 kilometers, maybe put a long point on, or if you guys have point, I can go out to like 40, 50 kilometers and just shoot light missiles out. That was my idea. And so we get into this acceleration gate and we go in there and I see like there's another Hawk that's neutral that goes in with you guys. I'm like, oh, we got neutral, let's go. And then they're like, no, that guy's friendly. I'm like, well, he's neutral. I'm like, okay, well, I won't shoot him then, I guess, if he's with your militia. And then I land and then he locks me up, points me, and starts shooting. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this guy if he shoot me. And they're like, no, don't shoot him. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, they're like, no, he's part of the militia. I'm like, he's fucking killing me. So
all right, I'm shooting him back.
I had like I had a double rep Hawk, so I was like, I can rep through a bunch of his damage, but I had light missiles. He had rockets, so he had more DPS than I did, and we're like, I feel like a mirror fit. I think he did more buffer fit though, because he didn't seem like he was waiting to rep, like he was baiting me out and just didn't need to rep, but I got him down to like 20% shields, 10 to 20% shields, and he wasn't repping. So I think he was just buffer tanked. But with rockets, I was dual active rep tanked, but with light missiles, so my damage was kind of fucked on that. Also, I just had Scourge in. I probably should have swapped to EM, even though I don't get the bonus, but it's still like the Hawk has
Still
a
probably do
horrible.
more DPS.
The Hawk has a horrible EM hole. It's really bad apparently if you don't plug it. So I don't know. I was just like, man, but they were part of their malicious. They'd get fucked if they shot him. So I'm just like 1v1ing
Sorry,
this
he's
guy,
shooting me. Yeah.
and they're all just like watching me die. I'm like, fuck.
You bitches.
We're in local trying to be like, stop shooting
Yeah, they
him,
were
stop
like, no,
shooting him.
don't stop shooting him. And the
I-
guy's just like, I have
He's
my
like, he's
reasons.
shooting me.
I think if you hadn't kept
shooting
shooting
me.
at him,
I
at
turned
that
my
point,
damage off because they're like, no, stop shooting him. He's gonna stop. I'm like, okay, so I turned my damage off, and he kept shooting. I'm like, fuck. I'm turning my damage back on, and I'm overheating all of it.
He's still shooting me.
Yeah. B-Task, thanks for the resub. Yeah, so I got him close.
Off topic, but I just noticed something in game that is just a tiniest little quality of life thing I didn't catch in the patch notes that I actually like. So in the skill window at the very bottom of your training queue, where it says, it shows your training time, and then below that now it shows the total skill points in your queue.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I missed that in the notes, and I actually really like that.
Oh, I didn't notice that either. Here's another little thing.
Cheers,
and maybe
B-Taz.
you might have already known about this. Everybody, if you like do your planetary interaction menu, you can like restart everything from your fucking from being docked up. There's a restart button on it now. Is that new?
Oh, just a restart. You don't have to
Yeah.
go into each one. And
that's
oh, I'm gonna come.
yeah.
Is that new?
That and
Sorry.
that
Somebody
That
and
makes a huge
the,
difference, doesn't it?
that and the
Um,
templates are default now, so everybody has them right off the. So yeah.
That's nice. I should
That's
probably.
huge.
Like,
I
what do
didn't
you
know
mean-
that.
Reactivate my
Hey,
PI.
What do you mean templates are default? Like there's already like
Or,
preset.
There's probably like
Well,
public,
you no
public
longer have to opt in.
templates.
It's part of it.
Yeah. It was an
I didn't-
opt-in thing when they were doing testing, but now
Oh,
it's like
okay.
okay, everybody's opt-in, and it's
I'm assuming it's like
part of the game.
the public fits. They have public templates.
What I was hoping though is that there was like some sort of generic templates that were just automatically there that you could just preload.
I do like that you can share the templates now. That's really fucking cool.
Yes.
And you can just save them, so it's
Yeah,
like if
first
you
you
like
couldn't,
you set
right?
up a planet the
Couldn't
way
share
you
the
want it,
source.
and you can just like copy paste it to if
I-
you're like
I
setting up a
would
bunch of
normally-
factories or something.
Here's the only negative on that, right? So wherever you set the template up on like a temperate planet, you set your template up on it, right? You go to a new temperate planet, right? It'll put it in the exact same quadrant on that planet, right? So you may have to move the whole structure to where you want to mine.
Oh.
But there's a mechanic for that.
Okay,
Right?
that's fine though. The other thing you have to look for though is so planet size. Actually, that's something I figured out is planet size matters.
Oh, huge,
Um,
man. Yeah.
For the mainly for the links.
Size does
So
matter.
the
Sorry,
Size-
guys, but
Weirdly
it does.
enough, it does. Yeah.
yeah, size
So
matters.
smaller the better, right? Smaller the better.
Yeah, smaller the better, actually. But yeah, so
Well,
I
I
didn't
heard-
realize because if you look at the planetary radius, that comes into account. So when you're making links from each thing, that actually the distance increases if it's a bigger planet, even though on your little visual thing it looks the exact same.
Which uses up a lot of power grid, not CPU, unfortunately.
Well,
because you got lots of that.
Yeah,
You don't have any power grid.
The thing is, like, the links actually use a really low amount of power grid, but the thing is, like, if you design your template on a small planet and just you get it within like a hair, like you barely fit it, that probably
It
won't
might not
fit.
fit on a
That
different
probably
planet,
won't fit
yeah.
on a big planet. So you kind of have to look at that.
I've run into that before. It sucks.
Yeah, I remember.
Well,
'cause I
they
was-
haven't.
But it
One of the
wasn't through
prob-
templates. It was just through setting one up,
Yeah.
right? I had the same number of structures I did done on another planet. I was like, why is this not fucking working this time? And I finally figured out is the planet was like twice the size.
Oops.
yeah.
Well, they
And
also
there's a
like
link-
remember
Go ahead, Millie. You
remember
were
when
trying
they
to say.
had
something.
the
Yeah, go-
old- Okay. Well, what they originally they had a lot of the systems when they swapped over and they started first, they shrunk the PI and then they did all these changes. Is that I think CCP forgot that a lot of the link between the different systems in the PI used to be upgradable. So like if you have an old setup that was optimized for maximum flow of materials to like a holding station or to a factory, it now means like you're way over CPU and power grid, and that kind of makes it a little hard to downgrade in some ways. Now everything's simplified because everything's shrunk.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I can up his volume at once. Give him a.
Did I have my? Oh,
No, that's why I can do it on
I'm
my
sorry.
end. They're saying you're a little quiet, so I'll give you like a 35% volume boost. See if
She
that-
sounds good to me.
Here-
So yeah.
Yeah, I was hearing him fine on my end, but I'll
Yeah.
boost him up if people can't hear.
we were having an issue because when they did a lot of the PI changes, they forgot that a lot of the older systems for the PI were designed around you having to tune it to the size of the items that you were trying to move through. So, like if you were getting from a collector, the collector would take a large amount of material, but it was a certain M3, but your links, in order to move it to the storage facility or the launch pad, you had to build the link up to a certain size to allow it to flow through. Well, when they shrank everything, now it's in the opposite issue, where now like you're not having to use that anymore, and so you have to refit a lot of your systems in order to get more proficiency out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just remember I was setting up some factory planets, and
Oh,
I
look
did-
at him. He's in the middle of doing it. Yeah. I was literally logged in today, and I hadn't gone on my industry. I don't always go. I'm on Dom every day, but not that one. And I pulled it up. I was like, oh, planetary things. Like relaunch. Yeah, relaunch. Yeah.
Yeah, I was set up a thing, and I set up a small. That's why I came across that, because I set this thing. I'm like, this is perfect, and I set it up, and I tried to recreate it. All you to do it manually, but I was recreating all the planets. And I got to one. I was like, it's like not enough power. I'm like, how? It's the exact same as all the rest. And that's when I figured out, I'm like, this planet is like
Twice as big.
a third bigger than that original one. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But I wanted all my things to have that, so I had to completely redesign.
Did you have
all
to take
of
a?
it.
Did you take a
Because
structure
I didn't
away?
want
Or did you-
5 of the planets to do one thing, and then this last 6th planet to be like it's like I had it all like where it's like they all got to be uniform, so that because then I'm going to spread it across like multiple characters, and it just
You
it's just like-
upgraded the command post to maximum. correct?
everything was upgraded. It was just I got it squeaked by to where it barely fit on a small planet, but then a bigger radius planet it didn't fit there.
It was
So
What
I
a
had
top-
to
what are you
reduce
talking
a few things, and so I got it eventually fixed up to where it worked, but it was like a little bit less productive. But fuck it.
Well, LB, he's so cool. He doesn't even realize how cool he is.
Hell yeah.
You're not paying
LB
attention
is
to the game, are
so
you?
fucking cool.
What do you say?
You're not paying attention to the game. I'm talking to you. You're not paying attention.
I wanted to make sure I brought it up before I'm a little too far gone for the night.
How about the killing algos?
But
What? Where? Wait, people fly those?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
it's okay. Just brief plug. But right before the episode, or right before we started tonight, Drayden and I got it set up so that
Yes.
the Twitch account is linked to YouTube. So starting moving forward, episodes of Open Comms will get posted to YouTube by the end of the weekend after we air live on Twitch on Friday nights.
Yeah. Took a while of
What? Can you say that again?
So
Ver-
episodes of Open Comms
Teasing
will
you.
get posted to YouTube.
Yeah, we were gonna try and do this like all throughout earlier this week, but when I got on, I was like, "Hey, I gotta activate it through the YouTube. You have the 2FA," but he was asleep. And then I went to work, and then he was like, "I'm ready." I'm like, "I'm not." And then by the time it's been a back and forth like phone tag thing all week, but we
Yeah,
finally got it
it's-
set up.
It's the hazard of you being way out on the West Coast
Yeah.
time zone, and me
What's-
having a 7 a.m. like be at work on weekdays most days here on the East Coast.
Well, I have to work weekdays too, but like I get to work at 8, but it's like
It's enough of
lately
a
I've been
time
getting
to
home
just-
at like 6 to 7 p.m. every day, so I've been working like
Yeah.
10 to 12 hour shifts like 4 to 5 days a week. And so when I get home, I'm just like, usually I'm like, fuck it, it's nap time. I'm not doing anything until I take a nap, and then I'm getting up to do shit.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got off from the nap, he's like in bed. So
But link to the channel is in Twitch chat. Please subscribe, check us out. Also, whenever we do our roams or any other extra fleets we do in the past, like when we've done Vanguard streams, those are also on there, and any ones in the future. Which actually, that was something I caught
Yeah.
in the Pulse video, which we didn't mention that there was a Pulse video this week. We could maybe watch that.
I
'cause
did mention that earlier, and y'all ignored
Oh.
me.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You didn't.
I
stream it
heard
live.
you. I said something.
You did. Alex
Um,
actually acknowledged me.
They,
Y'all,
they
you were-
did say
I-
there's. I don't recall the date, but they did say that there is going to be a live Q&A on the Vanguard Discord. So we should get some more information soon.
Yeah, I was okay. Yeah, so I was going to say, I was like, we haven't heard anything with Vanguard for a while. I was actually thinking about that like a month or two ago. I was like,
Yeah, it's
what's,
been pretty.
what's
They're
Vanguard
not
pretty
doing?
quiet.
They're not. It's not quiet if you are on the Vanguard Discord. If you're not on the Vanguard Discord, it will seem like it's quiet AF.
You mean
They said it was
that
going to be
I'm
a long
not
time
getting
for the next-
information because I'm
Sure.
not plugged into the sources where they release the information?
Exactly.
Whose
Fuck.
fault is that, Drayden? That's their fault.
I've seriously, ever since the last play test, if not before then, I've been saying whenever we talk about Vanguard, get your ass onto the Vanguard Discord.
I blame the Spanish Inquisition. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like-
fair enough.
Did you hear about what some of the stuff they're doing with Frontier at the moment?
No, someone just right as you said that, Solitarium is saying that they're selling cosmetic packs for eFrontier. Like I'm never opposed. So when it comes to games, and a lot of people freak out about microtransactions. I am never opposed to cosmetic microtransactions. I think that's a great way for a dev company to make money without increasing the subscription cost, or if it's a free to play game that they don't have a subscription cost. And it also is not a pay to win thing, because, you know, like, doesn't matter what you look like in the game or what effects you have, if it doesn't affect your damage or your health or anything like that, not pay to win. So I'm all for finding ways for dev companies to make money without doing the pay to win model. The only thing with this, though, I have to ask: are they selling cosmetic packs for crypto? Is that what you have? Is that what you have to buy to get these things? Because
There's actually been some changes recently to funding. But
has
what's
been,
actually funny, yeah, and it's actually funniest thing is now, like, okay, we're Eve, we don't really have monuments for people unless they do something really noteworthy. The opposite's happening in Frontier.
Yeah. The other thing, though,
We
I'm
can
not a
build
fan
our
of. So what I said is, I'm all for them selling cosmetic stuff. What I'm not a fan of is them selling cosmetics before a game is released. That's that smacks to me of Star Citizen. You know, we're gonna sell this ship. We're gonna sell like these pets and shit. And it's like, you don't have a working game yet. Why are you selling
So
additions?
That's a fair
There's-
assessment.
like games that sorry, real quick, games that sell cosmetics or items, or especially games that make paid DLC before the original game is finished, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't disagree with anything you've said. However, I will say that this shows that choice shows how dedicated CCP is to not using EVE Online money for this. It's because remember, the
Yep.
money that's funding this is from outside investors. They've not pulled anything away from or devs away from EVE Online to work on this.
You know what?
So if you look at it from that perspective, like that is actually good.
That's
for
fine
EVE
too.
Online.
I actually am fine with dev companies using funds from one game to fund another. I actually wouldn't be opposed to them taking profits from Eve and making, because if they're making other games, those are other business ventures, and you generally, almost every company out there is going to take funds and profits from one thing to start other ventures with.
I
wouldn't be
disagree.
opposed to that, but
It's the timing though, where like EVE Online has been, recent patch aside, has been in the state where a lot of players have felt like they need to invest more dev time. And like,
yeah, I mean, it's like
primarily they want players want CCP to be laser focused on EVE Online itself.
I mean, I would like the majority of their efforts to be on Eve, but I'm okay with them siphoning a little bit of funding to go do side projects. I mean,
Well,
that's where fuck, the FPS game, having a brain fart right now.
Dust 541. Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, Dust.
I think CCP has actually threaded the needle really well in this, where they've used some of because they're profitable as a segment of Pearl Abyss. They have gone on a hiring spree over the last couple of years. Like CCP, the number of CCPers that are that exist has gone up by a decent amount over the last couple years.
Yeah.
And some of that has gone on to EVE Online. Others have gone on to the other teams for like Vanguard or
Solitarium saying that
Frontier, etc.
He's saying they're taking EVE Online players like did CCP Jotun, is he over on the
Yeah, he is. He's actually the main GM.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is this game called? Frontier. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one who handles most of the major materials in game, does streams and little events right this moment. Ever since PA, he's been doing that.
Okay. And again, like we had, there was.
He got hired, I think.
Was it you, Millie? There were some people that came on and were talking
Yes.
about Frontier, and some of the aspects of it sound really cool. The thing that I really didn't like it is that it's a lot of it's all tied into fuel that you have to buy with. You basically have to buy crypto to get the fuel. So you're basically funding CCP's crypto thing to get the fuel that you basically have to use for everything in the game. Like you could play it for free without doing that. You could absolutely do it for free, but I feel like it's one of those kind of like mobile games where it's like you could play this for free, but you'll never really be competitive whatsoever. If you actually want to have any skin in the game, you gotta pay. And I feel like Frontier is kind of like that, but you have to buy into their crypto thing, and it's just like it puts a bad taste in my mouth. Fine if other people are into it, but I'm not.
The problem is they changed that particular play test was like around P3, P4. And so what happened was they changed it where basically everything now is like a direct progression system. They kind of goofed up this recent test because they reset everything, and if you got stuck in a certain corner of the game, you could not get out of it. And so a lot of people who they are the first time allowances who had reserved names had to basically biomass and restart because certain areas were basically completely kaput. And so some people just kind of sat there for a bit, waited for the game to because they've been doing stuff where they'll do a test and then they have to go in and artificially kind of restart things. So sometimes it's best like after the time you've started again, pause for a little bit and come back about like a week because then they'll have to change everything because feedback and everything on whatever problem. And then you have to go like to certain stations, but certain areas don't have as many stations. So you're having to do everything more building out of pocket in order to progress. So it'd be like Skyheart, like the POS system,
Mhm.
but more intense. Like you don't have a bubble, you don't have a shield. You can literally leave stuff in space and it'll sit there for a while. But you have to be kind of careful what you do and how you do it. And the payment system that you're talking about, Drayden, when they you actually had to pay because you would actually log in to the game and log into a secondary system in order to get a certain amount of what they called Eve coin at the
Yeah,
time.
that's the crypto that they're funding. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were using it as a test to see how they could do the transaction system. And one of the system they did was that you could only get a certain ammo, and that ammo was the one that you had to use in your gas harvesting, your fuel harvesting equipment in order to get the fuel that you needed. Now they changed it and they started like P5 and P5 to Frontier because then it became more direct, where like you had to build everything in order then to go out and harvest, and so now it's become more randomized. You're scattered over almost 5,000 to 10,000 systems. But you have to
I
jump
think he's
and move
talking about
around.
what Millen's talking about.
Yeah. Well, he was talking about he didn't
not
want
your
to do the
server
payment.
stuff. Yeah. No, we're talking about you're not doing NDA stuff here, right? You're not telling us things we're not supposed to know.
Yeah, are you breaking
Correct?
the rules?
I will make sure you're not breaking rules.
It's
Millet, 'cause
it's
it seems
fine.
you,
Like we
seems
won't
like you
out
breaking the
you.
no here.
We
a
won't
lot.
out you as we
Well, we can-
upload it to YouTube.
Well, we can have it. Basically, we can talk about the concepts and the systems. We can't tell you anything future announcement. Like all the stuff that's been through testing is there. So we have all the concepts, all the things there, but they've changed it. So each time the playtest changes, information's out of date anyways. You even got stuff last week. So it's not much of an issue right at the moment. Right now I'm trying to test how to progress as a solo
Stop
player in that
it.
system.
Sorry, that's funny. At least you get RMT and the rents do. Sorry,
Uh.
that's funny.
Well, it's just that, but it's kind of fun with the system they've got right now. It's just we'll see how it works out. I'm just more interested in how the mechanics work because they are very intriguing. I mean, I think that if the fuel system were brought to Eve, it would really radically change the
The concept for
calculus.
Frontiers has a lot of neat ideas. It really does.
Mhm.
But I think the fact that it was announced around a cryptocurrency thing has put a foul taste in so many people's mouths. They're gonna have a hard time getting past that. Even if they were to completely go away from anything like that, that the stigma of the negative stigma of it has attached itself to Frontiers in the Eve community at least, right? As a super negative. They're gonna have a hard time getting past that.
Well, there was also one funny thing I will say this because Swift actually had an interesting counterpoint. People were asking that if it was the test bed for Eve 2. And suddenly there was a very odd response that said, oh, if we were doing Eve 2, it would be specifically Eve 2. That was the gist of the conversation reply.
So that means no, that is not Eve 2, which is not. If you read
Yeah.
like what they're talking about in Eve Frontiers, it's not the same thing. It's not the same game. It is
Mhm.
not designed to be the same game. It is designed to be something different within the Eve universe. But I
Mhm.
think the stigma of the cryptocurrency thing has put a foul taste in a lot of Eve players' mouths. They're
There-
gonna have a hard time getting past.
There is
Not gonna lie, but when I learned that Eve that the new Eve game, whatever the fuck is
Frontier.
Frontier.
Frontier, thank you. Yeah. Was crypto based, I was just like, okay, I'm completely fucking out of it. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people
I
are
think a
that
lot of
way,
people
but,
are
but,
that
but
way,
here's
yeah.
the thing. There are a lot of people that are really into that. So there's a lot of Eve players that it is a big dissuasion and they're just not interested.
Mhm.
But I do feel like if you know what, if they want to get into the crypto space like that, there's a lot of outside other players that like there's a lot of people that play a lot of these crypto games and they love them, and so that might draw a whole new player base into it. You know what, and like I said,
They're not necessarily.
if
We're not
CCP wants
necessarily
to,
there.
if
Yeah.
CCP wants to do that, like I'm not opposed to them making a separate crypto game. I'm
Yeah,
not. I don't
I
like them. I
want-
don't. I think the whole crypto thing is
I
silly.
just don't want. I don't want Eve to be
Right. If they keep it separate,
hinged on it. Yes, it's just
yeah,
separate.
if they
You
keep
wanna
it separate,
then
I'm
we're
fine
good
with
to
it.
go, yeah.
Make it a separate
Hey,
thing over there, and
John.
if other people play it and they're into the whole crypto thing, cool, go for it. So
I'm
just
genuinely on
don't bring
board.
here.
I'm
I've done a lot of
genuinely on
reading on it. It
board
looks
with
interesting.
CCP's overall idea of like Eve Forever, and for them to actually accomplish that, they need to grow as
Yeah.
a company, and they need to expand the IP even further. And as long as they do that in
Hey,
a way
Cheetah.
where they're not cannibalizing the core
Yeah.
team working on Eve Online, hell fucking yeah, go do you. Grow your player base, expand in new and different directions. That is what any company should be trying to do, and it's what anyone that wants Eve Online to be able to survive long term should want CCP to be doing.
Yeah, and
There was
I'm fine-
some actually controversy. There was some controversy, particularly in the Eve Online Discord, where they were talking about some of the CCP were funneled over to Frontier, and some of them actually quit due to that. So there has been some kind of back and forth discussion going on about it, where the devs are being put, because if you actually are in that particular Discord, you'll see a lot of the people that were initially kind of helping and supporting Eve are basically main teaming it now in Frontier. They've even
Um,
got their own dev space separate from the main HQ.
so I had a.
Well,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
but I don't know. I like the idea as a test bed. I mean, there's some really, they've shown us what they can do. They've shown us what they can do as a company, expanding the universe, expanding like the tools and the machinery that could be used. But it does kind of, make me scratch my head sometimes. I was like, well, you've shown all these tech demonstrations what you can do. Maybe it's time to kind of do that Eve 2 or the server system that people keep begging them to, like, switch different types of server, like, a classic Eve versus the Eve already, but we don't really want to split the player base.
Yeah. Well, and
This is
so
just supposition.
my and Val brought up a thing that, and this is something that I saw other people post about. I think it was like last week or so that I saw, but people have probably been talking about for a bit. I don't know if it's my main concern of mine, but it is a little bit in the back of my mind that because Eve is dated. They are updating it all the time, but Eve is getting dated, and this is like a new thing, and they're like,
Gotta say I'm
basically
old.
this is, and like even the devs have said, like, we're basically learning all the mistakes that we made with designing Eve, and we're taking that into account and designing this like from the ground up to be a much better platform. And there's jokes about it being Eve 2.0, but my worry is like if this takes off and becomes a much more solid game as far as like functionality and performance and everything like that, and Eve becomes this kind of old dinosaur. If they see that this game is more profitable, are they going? Do you think that maybe now, obviously not in any time soon, but maybe in 5 years, 10 years, do they phase out Eve Online and then just focus on Frontier as the only thing? And now it's like, do you want to keep playing Eve? You make a new character on this crypto game, or just Eve is dead for you. I am a little worried about that. I hope that isn't a thing. Maybe it, I mean, I think it's a little early to worry about that. It might
10 years from now. Who knows?
I don't want
We
to
don't
play
know.
a crypto game, because if my thing is like if Eve Online, the
It could-
original,
it
is
could
going
evolve to-
down,
it could
and my
evolve to
other
all kinds of different things right there.
option is Eve Frontier crypto game, I'm done with Eve. I will be done with Eve. I will not probably ever play Frontier. I have no interest in it. If they're gonna have it in like crypto infused,
In what way? How is it crypto infused? Well, what does it make?
it's so Eve Coin. It's based on an Eve
So
Coin,
you have
which
to
is a
pay
crypto.
through. You have to pay through crypto.
You
coin,
basically
right?
buy Eve Coin and you use Eve Coin to buy stuff in the game, and that's their crypto that they're doing essentially. I might be a little more nuanced than that,
all
but
the other ones too.
yeah.
Can I
And
get
so
that
my thing is
one
like, it's like
without
if I
spending
have
any
to
real
go
money?
play this crypto game, or because the original Eve is basically over, I'm done with
You can't
Eve.
get plucked
I'm
by
done with
spending
Eve at
real
that
money
point.
either, though.
I'll find something else to play. So
Well, I mean, but that's also one of the things that's kind of made me kind of wonder from a
Just
different
depends on how you're
perspective,
playing for it.
because
yeah. And like I said,
we had
go ahead.
during the play test, we did have an interesting situation that cropped up where the player did something very interesting. Because we actually have hackathons that run, so people get to test different systems because it's the player dev system that they have. And so like people can actually deliberately interact with the devs to actually create and design things or develop from the system of Carbon, because everything's open source. Well, this one guy during, I think it was P3, actually used the system to actually create an arcade in the game. Which, I mean, was impressive, because like you could actually boot up something inside the game and play older video games inside this game. The only thing that made me red flag was because it was EXEs. So it was like executables or sub built into the game and were being processed outside. And they actually did do tests where they actually do have ways to external connect into the game as well. So there is some questions of security. There has been that has been raised pretty early on,
I feel like most crypto has
but then there's
security
also
issues.
then there. Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying because like there were so many weird ways that could interconnect into the game, and then people would mess with like an executable or a link.
Trust me,
That
it's
would be
harmless.
yeah. Yeah, but then the other one that was interesting though is like there's also been some interesting debates on legality of crypto. If you steal from somebody, what is the situation there? And so it's like it is kind of very Wild West per se. But these are the things we're just kind of like, I mean, if it's some other sort of system of like Plex is kind of its own form of a secondary premium currency, but it's a game currency. But the crypto side of it's kind of a question mark that I'm just there for the mechanics. I just want to see what they're doing. I'm going to do whatever testing I can, maybe figure out maybe something that's wrong there, pass it on, that's it. But I wonder if there'll be like remember that story? I remember like early on there was somebody who talked about the aluminum czar, or the guy over in Russia. He's like his kid got into Eve and like used the credit card, swiped his way through. He was an oligarch, and like it really made a big stink. But
Why it
the
should.
Russian guy was not happy. Yeah, but it was a long time ago. But it was kind of something like that. But I'm like, but when you deal crypto, it's much more gray zone, as it were.
Yeah. I don't know. It's again. I didn't mean to bring up like a doom and gloom thing. Like I don't think that even if that is a possibility, I don't see that happening anytime soon. So it's not like, oh man, do we quit Eve next year? Like no, it's
Too late now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could be 5 years down the road, it could be 10 years down, it could be never. But if it does come down to that, like years and years in the future, where it's like switch to Frontier or quit Eve, I'll quit Eve. Like that's gonna be my pick. But so I hope that Eve Online keeps going on its own path and is successful. And I'm fine with Frontier doing its separate path and being successful. I just won't play it.
I think
So.
There's
whatever
one
test. I
thing.
think whatever test. Mhm.
There's one thing I would love to see, and this is very much so like my, pie in the sky kind of aspiration. But I think looking around the modern IP landscape for video games, if there's any universe that I could see becoming something akin to the Oasis from Ready Player One book series, where I'm pretending the movie doesn't exist in this discussion because it praise Azeroth. I think that the New Eden universe for like something that's a truly like VR, like kind of like immersive VR style video game, the EVE Online universe is perfect for that kind of like truly just broad, sweeping, giant universe.
And they did have.
And I imagine with this very much so like everything from you could be literally like the Capsuleer piloting your ship in space to doing the kind of things that you see in Vanguard down on planets to potentially, other things that more creative minds than mine could come up with.
Seema, what's up, man?
Hey, Alex and/or LB, look in game and answer that question.
But in my opinion, that like is the ultimate like perfect video game is the EVE Online universe, but imagine it like Ready Player One.
I don't know why I said that in like Little Shop of Horrors voice, like Seema, feed me.
I mean,
that seems appropriate. That seems appropriate.
Like,
just out of curiosity too, for the other hosts, has anyone else like I imagine most, if not all of you, have seen Ready Player One the movie?
I have. I actually enjoyed that movie. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Has anyone else read the books?
I read the first book.
They have books.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep.
Wait, you're telling me they make movies out of books all the time?
No, not always.
And Drayden, the book, by the way, changed 2/3 of the plot, or excuse me, the movie changed 2/3 of the plot.
Yeah,
I assume most movies do that. So
Yeah, like in a bigly manner.
Thanks, Alex.
Ironically, it's
appreciate
kind of
that.
prophetic too, because the systems of where Ready Player One had all the ads. Remember how the bad guy was always going to put ads everywhere?
yeah.
Well, it's funny because Steam now and Gabe have actually been fighting against it, and they've now put down the rules that you cannot put ads in the game while the
I
game's
think it was
going.
Talking about
hilarious.
Ready Player One? What are we talking about?
It's a movie about.
No, are we talking about Little Shop of Horrors or Ready Player One?
Ready Player One.
I mentioned Little
Well,
Shop
okay.
of Horrors, and now
There
we're
you go.
talking
I
about
know
Ready
both.
Player One.
I'm
I thought it was hilarious. Like when you see the movie, it's like, here's a big reality check. If you have a society, an entire society that is focused on VR, and you have suits that can essentially put feeling onto your body of like what you experience in the VR, and you think that VR would not be 85% porn all the time, you're crazy. That's
Would
all
be
it'd
for
be.
me.
Well,
It would literally just be like, I'm
digital
gonna log into
waterboarding.
Orgy Online. Like that's just like that's all it would be. It would just be that. Like maybe I'm wrong, but
Think about the horrible way you could apply
when
that.
you look at like
Because if you wanted to capture somebody, put a VR set on them, lock them into a suit as part of an interrogation technique, put something in front of them in the VR system that's horrifying. They can't take their helmet off. They can't do that, and you're torturing them the whole way to get information.
that would be
I mean,
another
that's
thing.
one
Like,
way
yeah,
I
it's,
would think of it.
Fun.
but I mean, it's just. I mean, the internet right now, like what is it, like 65% of internet traffic is porn or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, and you think that if VR was like not only like a visual experience, but also a physical experience, and you don't think that number would probably go up way higher than that, you're crazy.
And so the estimate for porn traffic on the internet is 30 to 40%.
Hmm.
So yeah, high.
You add VR suits, it goes up to 60. I think. So,
I mean, I think for video, like long term, when technology is there and it's truly turned into a consumer, like mass produced product, I think VR is the end game for computing and for gaming. We're not there yet. We're like at the earliest like glimpses of it, and love Apple or hate them, they have the best VR headset like currently that exists. It's fucking ridiculously engineered. If you live near an Apple store, you can go there and like get a free like half hour or 45-minute session where you play with the Vision Pro. It is eerily awesome, I think is the way that I would describe it.
yeah. Also, Jita, congrats on last weekend.
That's one last weekend for what?
His team moved on.
We did.
Jita's team in the tournament. They,
Who's? Are we
Yeah.
talking about tournament now?
Just have-
yeah. Wait, didn't you guys' team moved on? What was your team? I remember watching one of your matches. Yeah. Oh fuck.
So I've got
Campus.
is the
Cam's fucked up.
Those,
Gampima. That's right. Yeah.
is the match scheduling up to date for groups for the groups days?
Let me look. I would think.
Looks like it
And
is.
there's no tournament this weekend. It picks
No,
up
not this
March
weekend.
29th.
Next weekend is when it starts up
Okay,
again.
that's what I thought.
Are you looking at the scheduled expanded, Drayden?
Hold on.
what
Let
that
me pull it up. Let me go
Yeah.
roster info. No, match scheduling. Here we go.
Expanded schedule. See it? I think it's got group days put in there now. Seeing it?
Yeah.
It looks-
They've
yeah, it's
changed.
updated.
Yeah, they changed it up. Yeah, because the feeders are gone now.
This grouping is based on how the feeders turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most groups were 3 teams, and the top 2 groups of each team, or top 2 teams of each group moved on. So most groups had 1 team eliminated. There was 2 groups with 4 teams, so there was 2 groups where 2 teams got eliminated. And then there was 1 group that had 3 teams, but one of their teams dropped out, but they'd already done all the scheduling, so they couldn't like rearrange it with no time left. So that one group with the 1 team that dropped out, those other 2 teams that were left automatically progressed.
To the group stage.
Yeah.
From feeder stage. Yeah.
So one of the so there were some really good matches. Like there was a really good comeback match from Goons on one of them, and interesting. So Goons had a really good comeback match on day 2, and then that actually tied them with I forget the name of the team, but it was like not all, but I think it was like a handful of Barcode dudes. And so Goons played against half Barcode team in the tiebreakers, and Goons beat them. So Barcode, like, it's not Barcode, but it's like some Barcode members, they got knocked out of the feeders and they're out. It's like, wait, what? Barcode gets knocked out by Goons? No way. Like there was some upsets that was not expected.
Maybe not expected by the loser. The winner expected to win. Why would you do it if you're not?
The thing is, like, I'm trying to like figure, because there's a lot of people just put in like random teams. And it's like I don't know all the names. Like I know Grief Team 6 is that.
Telling you what, Odin's Call is the best team name.
Yeah, Odin's Call Me Maybe. No,
Odin's Call Me Maybe. That's funny.
Premature Evacuation was pretty good, and then also Submissible, or no, it was like something Imbushable.
Submissive and Bushable.
Submissive and Bushable was pretty good. But yeah, some of like Grief Team 6. I think I can't remember if that's Hydra dudes or if that's Gorgon guys, or it's someone. But I don't know if Lady Labia is in this one. I know that Baza is in it. I forget which team he is, but that's
Odin's Call Me Maybe, Post Pod Clarity, Premature Evacuation.
Premature Evacuation is Baza. So that's like a handful of like Hidden Leaf dudes. I think
is probably Templess, right?
Templess is Templess. Yeah, there's some of them are really easy because like Sedition, like those are all Bright Side of Death.
Well, then Galante Police, that's the same group. They've always been together.
Yeah, but some of the Blahashadeen, I forget what group that. There's some of the teams where it's like the name. It's like okay,
so Shrimps is Bugs. Rambo, I've flown with him a lot.
Okay, so Piglets is Tuskers. Yeah, so. There's a handful where it's like, when you see like the name, it's like you wouldn't know, but it's like when you find out, like, oh, it's pretty much this team. It's like, okay, yeah, I think
the Imperium has to face the Tuskers, the Lazy Piglets first, in the next group day.
But Mea Culpa, that's that was a team.
Did Hidden Village? Did they just collapse in after the AT?
Where they got scammed out of their prizes?
Yeah. That has been
that
very
was
hot
so
over that.
Fucking hilarious. I mean, it sucks for them. Obviously,
it sucks for them, but it's funny. Yeah,
that is some wildly. They were scared. So I guess what used to happen in the Alliance tournament was CCP would make a contract and you had to accept it to get your prizes. But they didn't do that anymore. They changed their system. So then they just automatically just put the shit in the captain or something like that, and like the cat, and I don't know if it was Baza or someone like had moved. I don't know the full story, but like someone had moved it into like the corp hangar or something for some shit, and then someone got a contract, which was some random person made a scam contract where it's like, you're not getting this, you're gonna give me this. And the guy accepted it thinking it was just like, oh, here's our prizes from CCP, and gave away the prizes that they had already received from CCP that they didn't know they received, and gave them to this random person. And CCP's like, hey, we gave you the prizes and you got fucking contract scammed. That's on you. And so they just fucking lost they lost their AT ships and their skins. And
if I remember correctly, it was the guy they called the quartermaster. The guy he had actually been kicked out of the Alliance before. And so it was kind of a weird revenge situation, which I thought was very funny because like I felt bad. I was like, well, I mean, I tried to do some stuff to you guys for a little bit and I got punted just before that situation. And so it was a very weird scenario.
Sidebar, I just want to call out Alex for getting wrecked twice in Twitch chat and duels with me.
Fucking rigged.
He didn't know it is rigged.
So who's Bugs?
He's a moderator. He can change shit.
Rivals.
Not that.
He's a cheater. He's a cheater. I
forget who's Eat Fleet. Eat Fleet Elite is someone that's.
I'm coming for you.
I won't accept.
Is that Hydra? Is
You're-
he fleet?
It's Drayden's in number 1, Dom, you're number 2, and I'm number 3.
I've got all the money. Come at me.
Gambling.
yeah,
It's gambling. I don't gamble.
Yeah, I ain't coming after Drayden.
Well, it's funny 'cause people, like, they-
conquer all the other
they'll
Oh,
bosses.
you go after
gamble-
Drayden first.
They'll
Get him.
gamble low. They'll
Get him.
gamble low, and like they'll win from me. I'm like, well, the odds are I'm probably gonna win this one, and then they'll be like, I'm all in. It's like, yeah, all in, and then so they'll win like 2,000, win like 5,000, then they'll all in me for like 15,000. I'll just win all of it from them.
So I'm currently, I think, 3 or 4 in a row winning versus Alex, and ones that I've actually accepted.
I have not won against you, so this is
Yeah.
fucking
Hydroid
bullshit,
Flight,
man.
yeah,
I'm fucking
okay.
done.
Shrimps is
How am I 38th?
I don't
make
even know
sense.
where am I.
you're 38.
I mean,
You're 38
just-
out of 2,000 out of 7,074.
Just
too.
watching, I think, generates coins. I think you just get so many coins every like 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh,
so,
that's right. Yeah.
So just being in the chat while the stream's running just gives you coins. How
That's
do
funny
we-
because I actually have
That
more
is- that
coins
wasn't
in the
found.
game than I've got in channel points.
that my duel.
Can't do it. I don't know how.
I've got 725,000. I'm almost a millionaire on these coins, baby.
Oh, I remember. Oh, you remember Sidewinder, Earhart guy, Sidewinder Spirit Weaver used to stream a lot in the Eve category.
No,
Oh, Dom,
You
you're
had
number
a-
2?
I don't know how to do it.
Type exclamation accept.
I can't do
in
that.
chat.
I'll
Yeah.
lose 1,000 points.
No, you won't. If you lose,
Oh,
I'll
we're
buy you
betting
a
a
drink
1,000?
next time I see you. Yeah, it's only 1,000.
Yeah. The second I get to 10k channel points, Judah, I claim a
Damn it.
Galnet skin every time.
Dude,
Like,
Alex,
I
proof
s-
it's not rigged.
I'll struggle through a whole tournament to get to 10,000, then I'll just redeem my skin before I
Same
lose all
here.
my points again.
Oh.
Because I'm like, if I don't, I'll just gamble it away and then I won't have it. So I'm just like, give me that fucking.
Mine said feels good, man. Feels good. Feels
Yeah.
good, man.
And it's like I always redeem it, and I get. I'm like, give me the rattle. Although I have a rattlesnake one now, but I was like, give me like a nice one, and then I get like, it's like, oh, here's like an Atron Galnet skin. I'm like,
Legit, you're going to hit 1 million because of betting or because you just been around that long?
Why do I not have point? What? This is
Took them all.
Yeah, the
What?
point the point betting system is kind of funny because if you have it on a stream,
You didn't
you
spell
can
my
actually
name right
quiet
either.
bounce-
yeah, it's
You can bounce it back
AM.
and forth,
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Millet.
make a ton of points.
So the I actually on the Jintan's channel, what was it? For the tournament, I was doing a hell of a good job on the gambling. I think day 1 I started with
You lose
80.
again.
I started with 80 points, and I was at like 4,500 points by the end of the day 1, because I was gambling.
10,000. I can't do 10.
Yeah, there was a few of them where I was just like all in, like 1,500 points. And it's like, you win. And it was like, 1 to 1.4 odds or something. So I'd get like 500 points from that. But, but I was like, hey, I only lost a couple matches, and they were ones I only put like a few hundred points on. So I was doing well. And then day 2, I did also decent. But then I was like looking like, what can I redeem these points for? Not really anything on that channel. I was like, damn. I gamble so well on this channel where there's nothing to redeem, and then I do so terribly on CCP channel where it actually matters. But
May I ask an odd, silly question? This is a theoretical, but I want to see your equation.
we don't do
If
silly
you
on
had
this channel.
access,
Sorry, go ahead.
well, if you had access to a time machine and you wanted to win a gambling situation, what would be your
balls don't-
preferred pick?
I would go back to this
No,
specific
now I'm down to
point at
280,000.
a casino.
I finally
Now this is a decision purely out of spite. So there was a time, it was a friend of mine's birthday. There's a casino out in Spokane that actually does like live card table games. And I was at this blackjack table, and there was this, I think she was tweaking, this like tweaker lady. She was at the blackjack table.
You're
She was
taking, you're taking advantage of a fucking.
well, she was
somebody
on
who's
my
got
left, so
problems.
she got dealt. Or no,
She's on your lap.
I forget.
She's on your
I was
lap.
getting dealt before her. I don't know what side I was on, but I was getting dealt before her. And I don't play blackjack well. I'm just like, I'm just playing. Yeah, whatever.
Howard.
And so she was getting fed up with me hitting when I
Denying her?
shouldn't or not hitting when I should. And then like I
Doing
get
it wrong. Yeah.
and like so it gets to me and I have 2 4s and I'm like I'll split and she just fucking loses her shit because I split on 4s. And I was
No,
like,
there's nothing worse if somebody doesn't know what they're doing. And it comes to
yeah, because
blackjack.
like I'm
You
eating
don't
up
wanna
all
be
the
next to them
face
and go, "Ah,
cards. I'm eating up all the face cards when she like so I'm fucking up her numbers that she's trying to do to like whatever.
Oh yeah. That's
And so I
funny.
just split on 4s. I'm like, oh, like my thing is like, oh, 2 of the same split. I don't give a shit what they are. I'm gonna split. I'm gonna play 2 hands when I can. And so I split and I lost on both of those hands, but I wish I could go back and make sure that somehow I won and not hit when I would bust or whatever, just to win those hands and show her that splitting on 4s was a good decision and she can eat shit. Fuck you, lady. That's what I would do. There's probably smarter things to go back in time for gambling, but I would do that out of spite to that one person. She got up and left the table after that
There you
too. She was
go.
very pissed.
What a good.
I went all in on fucking Skyhawk and I fucking won. Look at that shit.
I haven't mixed that. That's just pure vodka.
Thanks, Skyhawk. Did he go where so he was ranked 3? He's now he's now 4.
I thought I put juice in that. I did not.
Well, and Alex, here's your chance to double down.
Nope. I know better.
Pussy.
I know better. I've already lost a shit ton of, well, not a shit ton of money. I've lost about $600 at Vegas. I know better. No, thank you.
You go. Yeah, you leave the table when you're up.
Should.
I went
Shit.
from rank 46 to what am I now? 26. Hell
Wait, could
yeah.
you do? Is it leaderboard? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Leaderboard, yeah. Or you can do exclamation point points. And it just shows you how much you have and what.
Well, it shows you
position
how much you are, but the leaderboard.
Yeah, it shows you how many you have and what position you are. So
There
it's
you go.
just
So you did leaderboard. You can click on that now and look at the wherever it's at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dominarch. Look at that. He's got way more than I got. Ooh, Rayo. He's close.
You want to all in me on a duel, Dom? I'll do it.
Do
You
not. I do not. I do not. I'll lose. No.
No, if you win,
like-
I think you actually pulled just ahead of me. If I
would
win,
not.
then I
would
will
not.
be untouchable. I will be a
I would not.
millionaire.
I would not. I would
Okay.
still be number 2. No.
No,
you're
you would
right,
be number
I'd
1
I'd be
because you would
one
go up to
'cause
like
lose.
200. You'd go up to like 560,000. I would go down to like
You drop
400.
down to
something.
500 something. Yeah. 400.
I would
I'm
drop down to
number
like 400
2.
and something. And you go
I'm
up to
not doing
500
it, though.
something. So you'd go a little bit above me and be number 1. But if you lose, then I will be like over 1 million and you'll be at 0.
Do it. I like being number 2. I like being number 2. When Rayo tops me, then I'll do it. Pressure's on, Rayo.
All right. I think we hit all
I'm
these.
not
stuff,
accepting.
right?
I'm not accepting any until then. I'm done.
I couldn't send the message because there's a timer on it. There was like you couldn't send the same message within 30 seconds.
And
I'm
I
sitting
couldn't
here like
figure out, and I couldn't figure out the fucking code or the command.
oh my god.
It's okay.
That's generous.
I reclaimed my 3rd spot.
Who'd you beat?
Alex.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Alex said yes.
I said I canceled twice and then I accepted on the 3rd one.
I literally had it loaded and and I had copied it. So every time he denied, I just immediately pasted and did it again until he accepted.
Yeah,
fucking moderator.
The one thing I would say, not to bring it back to the tournament, the one thing with the tournament is like there's a lot of new players. Well, not new players, but like new to tournaments. So with the rosters and format, there's a lot of. So when you first come in, you don't have any tournament ratings whatsoever. Your MMR is set to 2,000. There's a ton of those in this, which is cool.
Okay, it's a super long link, but there you go. What a good picture. Look at Misty up front.
What I
Motherfucker.
don't see is there's
feel
no
bad.
team that has Chad Hammercock, and I'm wondering why that is.
Oh, so actually, I do want to call that out about the photos we've seen out of NOLA so far. It makes me really want to make sure I go next year and do the airboat rides and go cicadas. Like the photos from that look like they just had such a blast. There is some clips that Convict had uploaded as well over on the NOLA Discord, where they had literally like pulled right up next to a gator that was on the shore, and the guy had a hot dog on a stick and was literally slapping the gator in its face with a hot dog, and the gator's just sitting there not reacting, not doing anything. It's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah, the
And then
person
at
passed out on the
and,
ground. I think
and
looks like Dave Archer.
and then at the end, like Convict makes some sort of a comment about like the gator like just being able to handle a wiener slapped in its face.
Wow.
Did we talk about the tournament last week?
We
Give
did a little bit.
A little
Radicos,
bit. Was Radicos
Radicos came
gonna
in.
come
He came in late. Like most everyone had left, but we came in and we were just like kind of.
last week? I'm showing the overview. What did you think of it? You were part of the group. What?
Yeah, I was there. I was hanging out, and I mean, I wasn't like flying in the live matches, but I was there just in case.
But on the day that you were in there.
I was there. I was like, you know what?
Was it an interesting
If 8
experience?
people don't show up, I might get put in. So,
You were like
I
crossing
was
your
ready.
fingers to make sure everybody shows up.
I was
right?
cheerleading from the sidelines. But no, it was cool. I don't know how much I can say about our matches, but we went 0-2, which was a bummer. We thought we were going to beat. So the first team we went against was I forget what they call it, but it's basically Test. We were in the group with Yabby's Baddies. I don't know who they are, but and then the other group was Test. It was I forget. But
So
we
because you
so
went 0-2,
we were
you're done, right?
basically kind of. I think we kind of overplayed the like, oh, if we ban this, and then they're gonna ban this, and then we're gonna take this, but they're gonna think it's kind of like one of those like Waterboy things where it's like we're gonna fake.
Thanks, Alpha.
No, we're gonna fake the fake, and so I think we got.
You overfaked your fake.
It's like they brought something we did not expect them to bring. They brought Tempest Rush, and we were thinking they were gonna be doing some kind of like Kite Armageddon thing, or not like an APOC thing.
You say you guys went 0-2 though, right? You're done.
Yeah, we went 0-2. So we lost that one, and then we still had a chance. We had to beat Yabby's Baddies, not just beat them, but we had to knock out 100. We had to kill every single ship of theirs. We could lead if we won and their frigate was alive, we would still go through. But we had to basically kill everything but their frigate.
But losing was not on the. That was worse.
If we lost, we were out. And so for the second match, we had to win, and we had to pretty much kill at probably all of their fleet.
Hey, Alpha.
Or at least everything but the frigate, and then that didn't happen. So
That was me being a dick, Drayden.
I think the second match it was
losing's worse than not killing the whole
honestly.
team.
I think the carries in the second match just did a lot of work. We had a hyena, which would have worked well with our comp, but the carries on their side just damped everything out. That it's damps are strong in this tournament. Like carries and Mollis are probably one of the stronger ships. Because they're basically like jams. Like you get enough damps on someone and you fuck up their day. So that's why most teams are banned. Like that's why
standpoint.
Basically, you're seeing carries banned in every match. Sometimes banned by both teams in every match. Like so.
But you got to watch, and you know a little bit from an observer standpoint. Do you like the format?
I love the format.
I do too. Really it's really cool, isn't it?
I like it. It's you don't have these slow. Like there was like one match I think that was kind of a slow thing. I think it was like a drone comp or something. It ended up going. I don't know if it went to time. I think there was like 2 or 3 matches that went to time, which is 10 minutes was the time for the matches.
Is that many? Because I
there was like
one, but
there was one for sure. I think there was 2 or 3 over both days. So, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, when you look at the Alliance tournament,
there's several of them that were like 4 minutes long. They were there.
Yeah, there's quite yeah. So they're kind of bloodbaths. There's less ships, but because there's less ships and you don't get to kit them out as well as you can in the AT. A lot of things are a lot more flimsy, so it really depends on piloting skill, and so it's you get these like most matches. There's just a lot of shit dying, and it's really fun to watch. I like it, and there's also a lot of strategy because it's yeah, like I said, you can't just bring like 3 Sleipnirs in this. It's like you're funneled into like you have to bring a battleship, you have to bring a battle cruiser, you have to bring a cruiser, you have to bring a Logi. And you have to bring a destroyer and you have to bring a frigate. Like you have to bring this plethora of like across the board. You can't just funnel points into a top end or a bottom end or whatever you want to do. So
And the bands mean a lot. You can really fuck another team over with the bands. I thought it was really cool.
yeah, so it's and also like the limitations, so you don't have these like super tank things that just never die. It's like the battleships. You only get the battleship restrictions, like you can only fit 1 plate or 2 shield extenders on the battleship, and that's it. And you can only have 1 local rep on the battleship too. So you can't have these like super tanked up, bricked up battleships that are just never dying. They'll die, and and like the logis get pressured. It's a fun. It's much more of a
You kind of got to
bloody,
make the decision to balance
yeah.
between how much damage I want to be able to do, how much do I want to try to stay alive. I don't want to try to stay alive. I want to try to kill everything before it kills me.
And I feel like the meta. I mean, the meta, and the thing is, like, there's a lot of different. I love that it's not just like it's always this. Like, there's Apocs are strong, Abaddons are strong, or Abends, whatever you want to call them.
The Ashimu turns out to be strong.
Gens
right?
have a place, and then like Ravens have a place, Typhoons have a place. Like, there's very few ships that just aren't used. Even Rokes, and like, I think the Dominix is like probably the least good battleship, but there was even one of those for sure, maybe 2 of them last weekend. I know there was one.
Well, there's several Hyperions that did not work out well.
Hyperions are strong, but they can get kited.
I mean, you saw that. There's a couple of
like they're shorter range because you're not gonna. I mean, I think there were some rail Hyperions, but like generally you're bringing blaster Hyperions, and so if you just stay away from them, they don't kill you. But I mean, like everything has.
They sure didn't seem.
There's a lot of rock paper scissors, so it's like oh, you bring rush, that beats projection. You bring projection, that beats. It's like there's a whole lot of like rock paper scissors going on. It's fun. I've been enjoying.
You're not wrong in that comment, right? But this isn't Eve. These are arenas, right? This is not just playing Eve. So there's
Right.
That's a good and bad thing, right? You don't want it to look like just regular PvP. You want it to be different and have its own little.
Yeah. Well,
niche.
I mean, the fact that you can't warp away makes it not like that. That in and of itself makes it not like Eve. Long points have no place in this tournament because they don't do anything. It's like you can't warp away, so there's no point to long point someone. So it's like scrams and webs are the tackle. Like that's how you tackle people. There's no point bringing a long point because no one's gonna be warping away off grid and repositioning. And it's just I think the restrictions are fine. But yeah, like, these tournaments aren't meant to reflect Eve PvP itself. It's a different beast, but it's exciting to watch. I think it's fun. I like it.
Agreed.
I agree.
On that note, though, I am going to bounce out here in a moment. I did want to share, though, since you clicked that upload button right before the show, Drayden. The last 2 episodes of Open Comms for March 7th and March 14th are now on YouTube. I saw they just finished processing, so I finished publishing those. So those are all there on the YouTube channel. But yeah, anyways, I will see those of you coming on the Roam tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time or 2300 Eve.
Yeah, see you, man.
Yeah, I definitely would not be there. I just found out the musical starts at 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
And enjoy, Dom.
Yeah. Blaster Hyperion is the answer if you know you can get on top of the enemy ship. That's the only time, and that's often difficult. So I don't know.
It rhymes, so it's true. What?
Like I don't know. I feel like Blaster Hyperion, it's effective.
Blaster's never the answer.
it's always it's effective if there's always an if in those.
It's always an if. Yeah.
And I mean that's the same thing with a lot of stuff. Like APOC is good.
Fix the cameras.
APOC is good if you don't have like a fucking Typhoon or not Typhoon. If you don't have a Maelstrom or a Tempest in your face, The
thing with this game, right? There's either a counter to what you're flying, or you're flying same exact something against somebody who's better at it, right? You have both those aspects to this game. There's counters to what you fly. There's also people can fly the exact same thing, just better.
Yeah.
Right? That's what this game, and actually when I say that, there's 2 different ways. I can fly this game with 31 million skill points or 310 million skill points. I've got a bigger range of things I can do, but that doesn't mean I can fly them better, right?
Yeah.
So you have both aspects of that thing. Right? It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I agree, G. Like I
also
think
have soft and hard countering.
There's skills,
but the problem is if
and
you want
there's
to get
skill.
hard, skill to get counters, hard or soft, then you have to think out what you're doing exactly, because like many of these competitions, they have to artificially adjust the rules to even the field per se.
Or
Because
to
if you
make it a
don't
fun,
have those
make it a
set
fun product to
rules,
watch too, right? Both.
yeah, fun
Knowledge is
project to
power,
watch.
Mr.
But I mean,
Unlucky.
like,
You are correct.
yeah, if you had something that was like, there are some odd fits that could be done, but they break the rules of the competitions involved, even though they may not be the strongest per se. I mean, that's also one of the reasons like they limited so many things, particularly with the Marauders, because they always thought the Marauders were boring, slugfest.
Yeah. I like that they got rid of the Banshee. Yeah, because Tinker, what the era of Tinker, very smart comp, but is the fucking most boring shit to watch ever. It was so boring, like especially when you saw like Tinker versus Tinker, and it's just like two sides shooting at each other, no one's dying, but if like one side gets a lucky shot or something happens and they kill one ship, that's it. Because even if you don't break the Tinker, you kill their frigate and you just don't lose anything. You win the match after like 10 minutes. That's such a
That was my point. Is that
Tinker was so
there's
fucking
rules
boring.
to make the product fun to watch, right?
Yeah,
They're
I hated
both.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it feels a little bit, but it's also to make the product worth watching. Because like just what Drayden's talking about, that's not fun to watch, so we don't want that.
Yeah.
Let's make rules so
And-
we don't get that.
And then like I agree, Jita. I think the rail hype is better. I like because in this format for the charity cup, I think that projection is just really strong. Like there's something to say about brawling and rush, but I just feel like there's enough kiting that if you don't get on top of someone and lock them down, you will not apply and
So
you just get picked
Jen's first-
apart. So I think that rail hype is stronger. But if you somehow know that they're going to bring something and you know that you can get on, like let's say that their battleship is the linchpin of the comp that you think they're going to bring, and you know that your blaster hype can obliterate
You get
that,
it.
and
You
if
get
you know
like
you
that.
can get on top of it, that is probably the better pick. But that's a lot of ifs, right? So I think that rail hype is probably just the better pick overall. But
Actually, one question.
blaster hype has
about
its
that.
place, I guess.
I guess with the smaller
Well-
zone too, I thought the blaster would be a little more prevalent, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Nah, you can
Well, okay,
kite
so-
around.
My question here, and this might sound very unusual, but remember, the warp core stabs have a timer. Are they allowed in the competitions where you can fit them so you can break a scram?
Yeah, but no one's gonna
Move
bring that.
off.
It's not worth using a low slot for that. It really isn't. Your low
Yeah,
slot
true,
is
but I'm
much better
asking-
used for anything like more damage, more tank, more like.
And you by the rules he's asking.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think there's
Because
any
the
rules against warp
MWD
core stabs, but if you allowed that, like they're probably allowed, but I guarantee you 100% of the teams will never fit one of those to any of their ships.
I don't know the answer. Do they break
Mm.
scrams?
Well, they break the scram. Well, they break the scram, but
They
also
give you
whatever
higher
information-
warp core strength.
Yeah.
And so I think they give you a
Yes,
plus
but-
2, which a regular scram, and no one's you can't.
Yeah,
fit
no,
faction-
I get that. I get
you
that.
can't fit
If you
faction
can
scram,
warp
so
away, but does it negate the Mike warp drive killing?
MWD.
Yeah,
MWD shut off. For a
I
time
don't know if
don't
it
know.
does
If,
not.
I don't know if it
Yeah.
does. I think it just lets
It
you
makes it
warp
so you
away,
can
which
warp
you're not going to
away,
do. So yeah, there's
But I
no
don't know
reason
if
to
it
bring
kill-
them.
Yeah, there's no reason to bring that.
Yeah, it still can't MW. Yeah, so
It
it's
actually
like
might be
it's a
something
wasted
to
slot.
test.
Be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's
Would be
so that'd be even if it did let you break the MWD shutdown, it's still a wasted slot because there's there's just stronger having more damage, like having an extra damage module or an extra tank module is just better than having the potential. If I get scrammed, I might be able to break it for 10 seconds. Not worth. It's really not worth that, I would say.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe for your carries, maybe. I don't
Maybe
know. yeah.
for Logi.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, Jita has a point.
It
I can
doesn't work.
see
You
that.
just-
I can see
Jen
that being
just said it
useful
doesn't
for
work.
Logi because sometimes the Logi gets caught by a.
But Jin,
something that breaks through,
Jordan said
but-
doesn't work. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't break the MWD lockdown, so it's a useless module in this format. So
But it's a good question, Millet. It really
Yeah.
was. That's interesting.
um,
time to do some testing.
Ashimus are the fucking devil. I
Mm.
So that really
they're
became a
such
thing.
a
They are
difficult
that,
ship. They're really good. They're such a difficult ship to deal with in that
which is
slot.
crazy because they're so easy to kill in like big fleet stuff, right?
Right, but the thing is,
And
like
they-
they're not really meant to do damage in these fleets. They do some damage, but like they're based
It's that
in-
long. It's that long.
They're
web, isn't it?
webbing and nuding boats that are tanky, and most of the comps I've seen that run in Ashimu have a fucking swarm of rep bots as well. And so they just swarm the rep bots on there, and it's like the Ashmu just blasts in there, and it has like what, a 20 kilometer web, and then it's got like
More than that,
nukes-
it can put up to
Oh.
it can do up to 50 kilometers.
Okay, the Cruor has a 20 kilometer web. Now, granted, you can't put
That-
faction.
no,
you can't put
it's
faction webs on
bonus.
these. It's all T2 or lower. So
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But it gives you the capacity. If you just do single web, it's not really as impressive. But if you double web, you're actually able to kind of dictate what can close in.
I think most of the Ashimus, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of them are single web. I think they're just using that one
but
web to
Are
get
they
the
able
one
to
thing
even-
they're
are they even
after, and then
able
they
to
nuke the
do
shit.
double
The
web?
thing is, like, if you come in to try and screen them off, they web and nuke the shit out of you, and then you get targeted and die, or you have to try and break off, or they just nuke you to where you can't do it, and they just zoom right past you, like, get out of here, and they go back and they're tanky as fuck. So if you focus them, it takes too long to kill them. It feels like, unless you like damp the Logi out and they misposition and they get away from their Logi, then you might be able to just focus and kill the Ashimu. But like, I feel like the Ashimus are so hard to kill, and they're not that much damage on the field. So it's like you don't want to focus them, but if you don't focus them, they're such a nightmare for your backline because they just blast through and get your Logi. I hated going against Ashimus because I'm like, fuck this shit, dude.
And they did well.
It's
did well in
so
the first push.
strong, and yet at the same time, it feels like it shouldn't be. I don't know. Yeah, I like
I've
the
always
Hicks.
loved them.
I like
Oh,
the Hicks
but-
better. Cheetah, like, I feel like the 20 kilometer scram is really strong on the Hick, and the Hicks are tanky. I feel like the Hicks are better, but like, it's just the Ashimu. Because like, that's the
Well,
thing,
but
like, the
remember
Ashimu will
that
web you and newt you, and then your tank turns off, and then they focus you, and then you have to turn your point off to get reps from the Logi, and then when you turn your point off, the Ashimu goes zooming back and gets your Logi. So it's like, fuck, what do you do? Like, I hated the Ashimu.
Well, the other thing also is that the Blood Raider ships, also their bonuses for Nos and Newt, is not limited to size.
Well, not limited by their capacitor, so they're always nuding you.
Well, no, yeah,
Or
yeah,
is
yeah.
Nos
It's the
you, yeah.
capacitor. Yeah, but the thing, well, it's not just that, but it's size-wise too. So they can actually use it like small, medium, large, but it's more about fitting. They can actually even do more frustration annoyance because you can occasionally run into, like, you can get an Ashimu with a much larger than normal newt involved. And that really will piss some people off. But most people usually it's mediums, or they might do a small, for speed of just sucking somebody down. And they just keep holding you down on the capacitor.
Let's not say that.
Unless you're like a really weird Loki, because there are like 30-second recharge Lokis. But they're like, no one's gonna fly them in the AT or any competition because most of the time
Well,
I don't know if they'll fall into loop. Possibly,
Were
but
T3s
I don't.
allowed?
I know they're using the AT, but I don't know
No,
if this.
for this, I
if,
can't remember for the charity cup they're allowed or not.
Yeah, is the charity? What's the limitation for the charity cup on T3s?
Drayden, the question's for you.
Oh, sorry.
specifically. Can you use strategic cruisers? Are they allowed?
No, you can't bring
We're
those.
not allowed. I didn't think so. I
Yeah,
didn't think they were
no,
allowed.
so you
Okay,
can bring
okay.
so the cruiser you can bring is T1 cruisers, which no one's gonna bring a T1 cruiser. I mean, but you can bring the T1 E-War
Blastothorax?
cruisers.
No, LB said Blastothorax, the greatest ship ever.
Yeah, so you could bring
said that
T1
earlier.
E-War cruiser, which was brought sometimes, because so the reason for that, the only time you'd ever bring one of those, like, there were some arbitrators, there were some Celestises, there was some Blackbirds, and specifically those three, because in this tournament the format is
use E-War,
for
that's bonus.
for ECM, sensor damps, and tracking / missile disruption, you can only put those modules on ships that have bonuses to those.
Correct.
So ships that maybe comps that are like, well, we don't want to bring a carry, we want to have a Hyena, but we do want the damps, then you bring a Celestis, right? Or we want more EC, like there was the whole, and
Depends on what gets
Jintan
banned
was
and
mentioning it,
whatnot,
like you have like the Scorpion and the Blackbird maybe, and so it's like you can have them help each other to where it's like the Scorpions get a jam some targets, but then they can always lock the Scorpion. But then you have the Blackbird jam those targets, and now they can no longer lock the Scorpion because they're jammed, but then they can't lock the Blackbird because they're also jammed by the Scorpion. And so you have this thing where like you actually like true jam people out with that if you can.
Try not to die.
But like those were, it was rare. You saw so, and then the arbitrator, like you get the tracking disruption. If you know if you think they're bringing a gun comp, you can bring traction disruption, or if they're bringing a missile comp, you bring the missile disruption. So there's arbitrators, but most of the time, the cruisers. So you could bring E-War cruisers, T1 cruisers, which no one's gonna bring, or you could bring pirate cruisers minus a Gila. No Gilas allowed, but you could bring like I think there was some vigilance. And Ashimu, like those are like the two. Ashimu is pretty common. Vigilant was like sometimes. I think we saw a couple of those in the tournament. But then you could bring Hictors. Hictors are really popular because 20 kilometer scram, really useful in and also a very tanky ship that is hard to kill, that also has decent damage and has a 20 kilometer scram for screening. Yeah, Vedmax. Yeah, there's some Vedmax as well. But yeah, Hicks and Ashimu, I think, are like the more common picks. But you did see some arbitrators, a couple Celestises, a couple Blackbirds, and yeah, there's some Vedmax, and that's about it. Like that's kind of about all you saw for the cruisers. And then Logi, only Tech 1 Logi cruisers, or you could bring one Tech 2 Logi frigate. I think there was only one match where we saw a Tech 2 Logi frigate, and it didn't. I don't think they won. I don't know, like what the strat is by ever bringing a single Tech 2 Logi frigate. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm. I don't have the theory crafting to understand that, but it's like, well, I don't know why you would ever do that. That it just feels like your Logi's gonna do minimal reps. Yeah, you have maybe some better sig tanking so they can't snipe your Logi out essentially, but you're also like really low tank, and you don't have another T2 Logi frigate like you can the AT to help rep you, and like you team rep each other and just don't die. And so you're just by yourself and just like relying on your team putting rep bots on you and your local rep. And that's what you got. So I feel like that's a bad pick, but those were an option.
Or you're having to do oversized rep on your T1 Logis.
Yeah.
That's not going to be really great for your capacitor. And also the
Yeah.
cycles are so long, it's going to be kind
Well,
of
also
screwy.
fitting, like you wanted to have like I mean, all of the T1 Logi cruisers are going to have local reps because if they get shot, they got to have local reps. So you need some fitting for that. So I don't think you're getting any oversized reps on those. I mean, the T1 Logi, they don't have the fitting space that the T2 Logi do. But and then the destroyer slot, kind of a bit like no Draugrs were allowed. Those are not allowed. But you could bring command destroyers or T3 destroyers. So and that's pretty much mainly what you saw. Command destroyers for the Lynx mostly. And some of them were decent at tackle. I mean, you had like the Magus, you have the drones, so you can like actually put some damage out, or rep drones on. You can have a flight of rep drones in there as well if you need to help allies. And you can tackle the Confessor, the Pontifex and stuff. But then you also have the T3. Like there were some Confessors, but like Jackdaw was really popular, especially since carries is so strong. Jackdaws have the resistance to damps, so you just like. You're not going to get damped out because it's a waste of their module to damp you when you basically. I forget if you're in defensive mode or sharpshooter or something, but you have like, what is it? Like Jackdaws have like 70-something% resistance to damps or something. So basically, you get damped out and you just still walk out to like 80 kilometers and shoot shit. So Jackdaws are a nice pick against that. And then Frigate was mostly E-War. Like you basically, it's like Carries, Maulus, Sentinel, Kitsune. Or Hyena, like that's pretty much what you're bringing in the frigate slot. For the most
that's
part.
Today. That just happened.
Yeah. Although that being said, there were some retributions, there were some vengeances, there was some other frigates. Like there were some assault frigates as well. But
what were you in prior to this? Sorry.
A Mamba.
Ooh.
Why were you in this pod in a Mamba?
Because why not?
Oh, was this on Wednesday?
You go. Oh, long range missiles. Ay, and drop top. Oh, Oh, jeez Louise.
Was this Wednesday? Oh, this was now. Oh no.
Just now, yeah. That's why I asked
He
him if
had
he
shi-
needed a
yeah,
hug.
he had shields up. Oh, okay. He had the drone sharpshooting. So the range on that thing, those drones. How far were the drones firing? Optimal range wise.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't
He
ask
doesn't
him.
know. He didn't ask him.
I'm gonna give you.
I'm thinking about you.
It
You,
would
you
have
had
lived.
to have
Ask
20
him. Did you
kilometer.
say this? Seriously?
I'm gonna give you that. It would have
Yeah,
lived if it
20
was a shield
kilometer.
super upvote.
Yeah, 20 kilometer. You had a 20 kilometer capable drone,
What upvote are you
probably
giving it?
minimum.
Hmm?
And that was probably okay. How long was your missiles?
42K.
42K?
Yeah.
That's
And
enough.
you had high grade hydras. That should be a little bit longer than that, I would think. Then
I don't know,
again, you're a mob.
T2
You're
missile launchers.
not a yeah, you're not Garmer because if you're doing Garmer will be able to throw out to 300.
Right, but why would I do Hydras in a Garmer?
What do the Hydras give the bonus to?
Unless-
Drones and missiles. It's
missile
literally
range
the
and
great
Missiles and
drone-
drone.
drones.
drone
Missiles and
optimal.
drones.
Missiles and drones.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that seems pretty good in a Mamba, though.
It's probably way better in a Gila or like Rattlesnake.
Mm.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Or if you put on
any-
a Orpheus.
Any
The
implants
problem
are
is,
going to
like-
be better in a bigger ship for the most part.
Yeah. When you
We got another
fly
raid.
like a
Rain is raiding with 10. What's up?
nice.
We're
What's
giving
up,
LB
Rain?
LB shit
Look at
for
Dom and our
losing
phones, but-
for dying in a 9 billion-isk pod.
Yeah.
No, not giving you shit.
Him?
You went out there.
Fucking, I lost one last
him
week,
hell.
so I'm okay with it. Sucks.
Yeah. It's like you miss all the shits all the shots you don't take.
That's right.
You miss all the
Yeah.
shits you don't.
I mean, you miss all the shots you don't take. You probably miss all the shits you don't take too. So like, hey, I will never criticize. Well, aside from just for fun, I will never criticize someone for like being like up in their game. So
Yeah.
Discord.
Like-
Drayden.
The Mama gets fights because everybody thinks it's garbage. So like they'll come in
Oh,
ones and
yeah, I
twos.
can do that.
But like you fly a Gila or something like that, then people just want to kill it. So you'll get fights in like 10s or 12s.
Okay,
that's
that makes
never
sense.
fun.
That makes sense. I just based on its capabilities, I just thought the Mamba was not worth what it costs. But that makes sense what you're saying. You
Well, I use
It works perfectly good.
if you use your LP, it's basically free.
I don't use LP.
Like
I
if
buy
you
shit
mine
with
your
it.
own minerals, the ships are free, right?
That's true. Yeah, and I don't do that. So
They're
Yeah.
kind of expensive. They also require some oddball things.
I'm a dirtball.
mean-
so I buy my shit with ISK. I mean, they're terrible evil person.
Yeah.
All right. Alex is doing a 200 mil ISK giveaway. Exclamation point ticket if you want to win some ISK. I'll probably draw that in like 5-10 minutes. Remind me, because I'll let that shit go on for half an hour.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna buy one ticket because
You're
Here's
gonna
the thing.
wait, what if
Putting
you
putting
win,
down
though?
exclamation ticket isn't worth 200
I'm
million.
gonna
I'll
give-
have you redraw. I'll have you
Okay.
redraw. I just
It's
thought
just
for the
bragging
law.
rights. Okay. I was like, you just be like,
Okay,
oh, I'm
I'll
gonna
take it
give
too.
200 million ISK to myself. Like,
No, actually, one thing I just realized, I'm kind of puttering around over in the testing, and I jumped to something, and this monster of a thing took one look at me, and I was like, no.
what's the
What?
best
It's weird.
underdog
I mean-
ship? In the past, it was the Tristan. I would say, go one scale higher than the Tristan. I would say the Algos is the biggest underdog ship. Apparently,
No, the Atron's the biggest
LB,
underdog
did you
ship.
kill that Algos tonight?
No, they ran away.
Oh, I would say because like the Algos, I was
Algos is
surprised. I was like,
strong.
I don't
Algos
think
pretty
I've
strong.
aside from back in the day, like when they first came out and they made Duck Fleet, where there's like, we're gonna make Duck Fleet, and it was a thing. But I haven't really seen a Algos in the wild since then.
Yeah.
Algos is strong. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I've never used one.
You
You
see
know
them
what?
in faction warfare a lot because you can
Yeah.
multi-box them, like
I was like,
multi-box
you know what?
drone
Fuck it.
ships.
I might bring an Algos tomorrow for the row. Because
I got killed by a blaster Algos once. That was not fun.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I
I can
think
fly one of those.
Yeah, they
I
can
think it's
close in
kind of
on you.
neat, like a drone destroyer. I kind of like that. Although why bring an
Well, I
Algos?
mean, you
when
got
can bring
other
a
ones like
Magus?
the Amar.
Maybe
The
I'll bring an
Amar have a
Aga.
drone as well.
I might bring a
Yeah,
Magus.
but I got
to
Algalante
links.
skills, so I'm good to go.
But I mean, like the Algos is cheap, right? So that's a nice way. I'm tempted to bring a Magus though,
Relatively.
because like it's an Algos on steroids and gives links, but
Mm.
also
We should
it's,
bring my Marshall on
it's
the fucking.
not
We should do that.
for like it's not like 3 or 4 million to fit. So
I said I'm going to use my Marshall in a meaningful way this year, and I've taken it down 4 fleets already. Alex, are you passed out? What's going on?
No,
he's
I'm
awake.
still here.
Oh, my screen's fucking my
oh,
my
I was
screen's
like,
out.
he looks alive and conscious to me, but you know, hey, maybe I don't know what
Hey,
I'm
I'm
looking
s-
at. So
I'm on my second
On
bottle of wine,
stream,
but I'm
he doesn't
still
look.
awake.
My stream locked.
oh, he's got a bonus to drone speed. Oh, that actually probably is decent. What's the? Is it 25 M3? Drone bay for the Algos, or does it get 50? Because
I don't know.
I
Hold on.
want to say it's 25. It's probably just a flight of lights, but if it can put out 5 mediums or even like 3 mediums, the speed would actually like
It puts
you
out
could
a whole.
send
It puts out a whole flight.
whole
Mediums
okay,
though, or lights?
light. I would think
Hold on,
lights.
lights.
Yeah.
Lights. That's what I thought.
I think a destroyer putting in a
But it's
whole
got a
flight of
big bay,
mediums
doesn't it?
out would actually make the
60 meter
Algos
cubed.
busted as fuck. Like that would probably be broken.
60 M3 drone capacity with a 35 megabit bandwidth.
35. Oh, so you could put 3 mediums in a light though.
I guess so. Yeah.
That with the drone with
Dirty.
the
That's
speed
dirty.
with the speed boost though, that like you could send some Valkyries out fast. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but a Vexor's a cruiser. Like the Algos being the destroyer makes it very like low key, fast, and cheap as fuck too. I mean, I can't imagine it's a T1 destroyer, so I can't imagine the hull is more than like $1 million or $2 million, and then fully fitting it up with just like T2 fittings, probably also a few more million.
Vegeta, the hull is 1.6 million.
And since you has a gunboat, I mean, do you fit guns on an Algos, or you just fit like a bunch of drone damage
You
amps
can.
and stuff?
You can.
Yeah. Some people prefer drone control range over the guns, but I mean that's up to somebody else to try.
I think
And
Vexor.
it can also put a defensive missile too. So like you can actually put the defender missile system on there too, and kind of keep people from doing stuff around you with certain weapons.
No, there's no launcher hard points on an Algos.
Yeah,
No,
Vexor.
I said defender missile.
Don't you need a launcher
but the
hard point
defender
for
missile-
those?
No,
I think you do, don't you?
I'm pretty sure it's only the T2 destroyers that fit defender missiles, unless you have launcher
Correct.
hard points.
I don't know.
you can put defender missiles on any destroyer.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
You know what? I'm sold on the Algos. I might fly an Algos tomorrow. That sounds fun as fuck. I've never flown one.
Oh yeah, defenders.
Also,
don't take a spot.
Vexor. I don't think Vexor is 75 megabit. Maybe like total drone bay, but bandwidth. I think it's 50 for the Vexor, or is it maybe less? And the Vexor Navy is 50. I can't remember, but I highly doubt the Vexor is 75 megabit bandwidth. I could be wrong. Maybe.
Oh, the cinematic for the Algos is really cool.
Okay, yeah, I thought Vexor was 50 because I'm like, I know Vexor can put a flight of mediums, but I don't know. I feel like if it was 75, I feel like people would probably just put 3 heavies in a Vexor and just do that. But
I mean, the Vector you can put heavies.
oh,
but you can also
VNI
put
might be
sentries.
75. Yeah.
Normal Vex can do
No, the
3
Algos is
sentries.
only 60.
Really? Okay, then it is 75.
fine.
Why?
Mhm.
Why aren't people using 3 heavies and Vexors? They're slow.
Well, because it's slow but also sentry is positional. Now, if you're in a fight like in the old Abyssal Proving Grounds, it was actually kind of a way like you could move around and orbit in certain areas of the battlefield, drop your sentries within range, and the sentries could actually put a lot of pressure on an opponent while you were using guns or rails to finish them off close in.
Yeah.
Was to make sure they were spaced out enough to do the damage. I got one less
Surtur.
to throw away.
Is there a fleet leaving 5 I don't know about 5 a.m. your time. I don't know what time zone you're in, but yeah, we're gonna be doing a roam tomorrow. I gotta think of the eve time. It's 4 p.m. my time. That's Pacific. So that's 1600. What's 16 plus 7? Or wait, no, now is it plus 8? Fuck. I hate daylight savings. What a stupid system. Why can't we just be like smart? I think it's 20. I want to say
Reasonable
2300.
people.
I want to say 2300 eve time, I think, is the roam. I know,
7
but I
p.m.
don't.
my
I'm
time,
trying
so-
because I just remembered it saying it was 4 p.m. my time, and that's how I remembered it. So I don't remember what the actual UTC time was for it, but I think it's 2300.
Or is it midnight?
Yeah, UTC time should be. I think it's 2400
Midnight.
because right now
24 or 0.
2400.
0.
000 or 2400.
Okay, no, 23. I just scrolled up to the post, Skyway. 2300 eve time. So 2300 UTC. Tomorrow. We're doing a fleet. We're going to meet up in Thera. If you don't have the Eve Scout bookmarks, I'm sure you can meet up in Jita, and we will probably take a group and head to Thera to the nearest wormhole to get there. Casual is 3 heavy drone. I think heavies are good. Sentries get fucked on tracking all the time, and also people just burn out of the raids, and your sentries are shit or they get too close. Heavies, they're slow as fuck, but if they get out, if you can web or scram someone, those heavies will fuck them up. 221. That's actually probably better. You know what? I will tip my hat to Jita and be like, he probably knows better than I do. 221 seems better, actually. Yeah, 2 heavy, 2 medium, 1 light. I like that better. That's probably better. But yeah, so we're doing a roam tomorrow. It's gonna. I mean, you could call it MPSI. I feel like people probably won't shoot their own blues, but we're gonna be an amalgamation of a bunch of different people, possibly. So I think we're gonna hopefully try and look at like what the fleet comp is of like where people are from, and hopefully roam to an area that is least likely to cause diplomatic incidents. So if you're interested, hold on, let me get you a link to our
happen.
Discord. We will be posting things in there about it. If anyone needs.
Some of the Algos does not have 125 M3 drone bay.
What?
All right,
No,
there's
that's
a
60.
link to the Discord if you want to join the Discord.
That's 60.
We will be posting things I think there's an Eve. Was it Eve Chamber? The Eve Chamber chat channel. We'll probably be posting there when we're doing the fleet, and you can meet up and we'll get in fleet and get in comms and go from there. We're starting to do roams on Saturdays. Like, we kind of want to make it like a regular Saturday thing here to do roams and just go out and have fun and shoot shit. So. And it's probably going to be a kitchen sink-ish fleet. Although I feel like we usually will do frigates, destroyers. I don't, like, honestly,
And
I think it'd be fun if we brought some cruisers. I don't think we need to bring expensive cruisers, but like if people want to bring some Tech 1 cruisers, I wouldn't be opposed to like actually having some firepower, because I feel like some of the fights we get in, it's like, we almost won, but they had 2 cruisers, and so we just didn't have the
it
damage.
doesn't help when people warp off before they're fucking ready to fight.
Yeah.
That happened twice, where we could have won had people not warped off.
But I feel like, yeah, I mean, even, and the things like Tech 1 cruisers aren't that expensive. So, I mean, even if we get blobbed on and just, you know, lose some cruisers, it's probably not a big deal. But also, frigate, tackle, excellent. Destroyers, fine. What's up, Bizarre Bike? Science question: could you win a fist fight against a coyote? I could.
Yes.
I
No,
could.
Drayden could not, but
I
people
could. That coyote is like I am a large man. That coyote is like the size of
One
my
coyote?
scapula.
I got chased by coyotes once. It's fucking terrifying.
I've never been chased by
One
coyotes.
coyote is not terrifying. A
No,
pack
no,
of coyotes
pack
is
of
different.
coyotes.
Well,
is
he said
terrifying.
a coyote. That's why I said yes. A pack of coyotes, I would probably, but a pack of coyotes aren't going to come and attack me. They're just not.
That was
No.
a science question. That was
Yeah.
a science question, Drayden.
No, I
Where's
would
the
not
fucking
lose his
glasses?
fuck to a coyote. A
That was a science
coyote.
question. You put the fucking glasses on, or you lose to everything.
My glasses are fucked up. I sat on them
Where's
or
your
something.
coat? Where's your coat? Science question.
Here's my
So
glasses.
currently,
They're bent to
currently
shit.
Drayden will lose to a coyote.
I would win a coyote.
Without the coat on, you can't win shit.
I mean, I can't really
Gotta be
see.
careful.
I
Those
can't really
coyotes are
see
sneaky.
coyote science with these. They're bent. Like, look at their.
I don't care
LB,
about
does
this
he
glasses.
use the
Coat. Where's your coat? It's a science question.
LB?
He
Does
redeemed
this
it.
does this
You gotta do
coyote
the deal. He redeemed the science question.
Does this coyote do what?
does he work with Acme?
No,
Shit.
not that one.
Only Drayden can look dumber with glasses.
Yeah,
Oh
make
my
sure
God.
Drayden, that he's not working with Acme. That would
No,
be very,
Drayden.
very bad for you.
You fucking redeem the science question. You gotta do the get up. We pay money for this. He's paid to do this stuff. He's paid to do this. Don't feel bad for him.
All right, I got the lab coat on and I have the fucked up glasses.
There you go.
So
Don't feel
I can
bad for Drayden.
now.
He's paid for this.
Now I
you
can
beat up
professionally
a
answer
coyote?
this. Yes, I could take on a coyote, no problem.
Yes.
Yes, I would try and pet it. It would bite my hand. I would get it would, you know what? It would get me in the end because the animal with the highest rated chance of having rabies is coyotes. No, I take it back. Foxes. Nope, foxes. A fox would fuck me up. Coyote, I'd get it.
Oh, fox are cute. They're kind of.
I know. I would get the fox
cat
initially,
dogs.
but it would get me in the end because I'd get the rabies.
The raccoons are fun.
And rabies are 100% fatal.
I literally have a
Yeah.
corpse or corporation in Eve based on a raccoon. It flipped me off one time.
No, raccoons can often have rabies. Same with bats, but foxes are, well, actually, the thing I saw, it was actually talking about the UK. So in the UK, that doesn't really matter here, does it? But in the UK, foxes had the highest chance of having rabies. But you know what? We were originally a UK colony, so it's got to be the same thing here, right?
Gotta be dirty. Gotta be.
That's
dirty.
how science works. Because I have the glasses.
That's how science works. He knows. Yep. Drayden, after Drayden question, he knows.
Can't use
Do you ever
T1
have,
drones,
a
right?
raccoon flip you off before? I have.
No, I've never seen a raccoon.
Ever?
Not in person.
The raccoon.
I've seen
literally-
videos. I've seen YouTubes.
Literally
of
fucking flipped me
raccoons.
off and sauntered away out of my driveway. Like, fuck you. You ain't doing shit about me. And you know what? He was right. I didn't do shit about him. I watched him saunter away. Because
See, bizarre.
fucking dickhead.
Scienticians. Oh, man, that sounds like a church we could exploit people with.
Scienticians unite. Hell
Scient-
yeah. I give money to that.
What if we called it like
Wait a minute, what do you mean?
scientitionology
Is
or
this-
something?
Are
Like,
these scientists?
and we
are
told
these
people they had,
Church of the Flying
scientists
Scientists.
dietitians?
and we told people they had like
Means
pengrams in their head or something. You know?
You just copy everything. And just
Yeah, but you gotta shift it a little bit. You can't copy. You can't. I'm sure there's like copyrights.
Well, I heard that they're a little Sue happy, so you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah,
we could be
Scientology is a
close.
thing, but not
Scientishly.
scienticiology.
Scienticiology.
That's a
There you go.
different thing. That's a whole different thing.
Totally different thing.
Scienticians, you're basically
Dude,
Scientology has
scientific
Xenu. Scienticiology has Pinu. They're different. It's completely different.
Nanu. Or, I hate these glasses because I keep trying to like tip my head, because if I tip my head like this, then they're normal, right? Which is weird because it's a perception thing, because like changing my head shouldn't matter, but if I tip it back and then they look
Yeah, you
normal.
look really dumb when your head's tipped
these look
normal.
like I'm just
You tip it to
chilling,
the
but the
side, you look
glasses are
normal,
fine,
yeah.
and then I look straight and it's like, oh no, those are fucked up.
Why is that, Drayden? Is it because you're fucked up? Or 'cause I'm fucked
Probably.
up?
I'm probably getting there. My
Gametology.
BAC is probably like, you know, a number.
Probably less than 0.2. Mine's probably hovering close.
You got an Algos? Are you coming to the room tomorrow, Rain? I'll bring an Algos. We'll be Algos.
I think my
buddies.
Algos to LB. He didn't share it with you guys though. Oh, and Alex
Hell
is
yeah.
there too. I think
I'll bring an Algos. Dude, we could do Duck Fleet. Oh shit, we could do Duck Fleet. I know Redline will hate it. I'm sure he hates Duck Fleet, but you know what? If we just rebel, if we rebel against the patriarchy or the whatever,
Patriarchy.
no, not the patriarchy. That's not what I'm trying to go for. The the proletariat. No, the
What?
proletariat's not. What the fuck are we rebelling against? The FC.
Proletariat.
Proletariat.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
proletariat
but
is
yeah,
the proletariat is
Let's
the working
rebel against
class.
the secretariat. Secretariat. That's right.
yeah, that's
No more
The
secretariat.
bourgeoisie.
Oh
The
yeah,
bourgeoisie.
dude, that's what he is.
Yes.
He's the bourgeoisie.
thank you, El. You
We
so
just be like, we're
bougie,
bringing
El.
Algoses. We're taking this.
That same thing as being bougie.
I'm
Yeah,
bringing
yeah.
a dragoon just to be different.
Oh, but you still
I'm
got drones. That's
bringing-
allowed. That's allowed. Yeah,
I'm gonna bring.
dragoon's actually kind of cool. That guy's rockets, right? Well, it's
It's got
drones, but
drones?
it's drones. But
Drones
I think
and-
it has some rocket bonuses or something.
You can make a newt dragoon,
A new,
Trash.
A new goon.
a new goon.
Nougat.
Nougat?
Nougat. Nougat.
Oh, dude, I love
Nougat?
nougat.
I like
Nougats.
nougat.
Like Milky Way, so good. It's like you can have a Snickers,
Musketeers.
but why like muddle your nougat with peanuts when you just have more nougat and have a Milky Way, right?
When we do a Talos fleet, that'd be fun.
Ooh.
Talos.
Dude, I was on not Algos. Well,
Can't afford to do that.
a
with
rogue
that.
fleet. I was on a rogue fleet earlier
Hmm.
today, and I had what's that ship skin? It's so good. I think it was the one we get for going to FanFest. One of those.
The FanFest skin.
The flip of
Name-
Flopalex. I don't know.
What?
I have no idea.
I have to take these off. Like
Man, my Algos
they're
look
not even
cool with this-
prescription. They're
Fuck
just
yeah.
oh. I don't think people even realize. There's only one lens in this. Like this lens is actually just missing. I didn't even realize
my
there's only
God.
one lens on one side. That's also probably why my vision was getting fucked up.
Where's the fucking rogue? There it is. There's a rogue.
What's wrong with us? We're terrible people.
No, you're just a terrible person.
I am. I'm fully admitted.
I'm kidding.
Look how
I'm kidding.
fucking
Doc.
cool this shit.
Permaband's a good rogue one. I like that one.
Yes.
Isn't there a
yes, yes,
police rogue?
skin. Looking now. I don't believe so.
Damn. What a shame.
But this skin, it was like purple and shit. Oh yeah, the Celestial Coalescence.
Hmm.
I was flying that earlier today, and it was nice because I was like the only person flying with that skin on. It was fucking awesome. Looks cool.
What was it called?
Celestial Coalescence. I'm surprised I can say that right now.
Oh yeah. I found out way late, Jita, like how to add skins on Thunderdome. I didn't realize you could just like give yourself like generate things. And I was like, yeah, but some of these people are doing stuff on the Skinner. How do they do that? And it's like because on Thunderdome you can just give yourself 50,000 plex at a time, and they just would give themselves 50,000 plex and then just buy shit on the Skinner thing for Thunderdome and just make skins. I'm like, it's too
Bunch of
late
cheaters.
now
You're a
because
bunch
it
of
was like
cheaters.
it was like the morning of the tournament. I'm like, it's too late now for me to get shit set up. But I was like, that would have been nice. I could have fucked around with some stuff, but yeah, that's cool. They allowed it. I like that. That's great. There was definitely some funky skins on the. There's some really cool skins on the tournament too.
I think we're not going to see as many skins as before because they're going to make it more for the players that have to make stuff through Skinner. It's going to be more limited time stuff now.
I don't like it. I don't like that. Don't say shit like
Mm.
that. Don't give them bad
Well, I
ideas.
mean-
But this was on Thunderdome,
Well, I
so
mean,
like there's no limits on there.
Yeah.
Like It's like,
Yeah, true.
you could
No,
just
more skins, better.
because like all the
Well, but for tranquility,
yeah, for tranquility, because it costs money to make skins. But on Thunderdome, it's like I'm gonna give myself 50,000 plex, and I can literally make thousands of skins and instantly produce them right away. So, and you can just give yourself all the encoder things that you need to make them too. So,
I hope
No,
they
well,
don't.
no, Drakenhoff, they better not. That would piss me
Thunderdome was
off.
fun.
They're the best fucking group in the whole damn company.
I was
Yeah.
excited because I was like, on Thunderdome, I was like, wait, I can just give myself a Python with the AT skin? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's on Thunderdome, but it's like, yeah, I gotta fly one. Hell yeah.
I got a Marshall with the AT skin. But actually, on Tranquility, fucker. Ah.
Yeah, that's a.
It's not a Python, but it's a Marshall.
Jesus.
I
2.1
got
billion
that-
ISK Dragoon fit. That doesn't make any sense.
Where did you link it?
Can
Get in
link it.
cesspool.
Ooh, anti-cruiser
Yeah.
free for all sound fun.
He has a series, like a solo series. And he's been doing a Newt Dragoon fit. I was like, oh, I could do that. No, it's 2.1 billion
Yeah,
ISK.
look at the newts he put on that fucker.
Yeah. Corpy A type, small energy newts, whole fucking rack of them. Well, B type, A type, B type, A type, yeah, B type. So A's and B's.
You think
Corelli
they're
A
gonna add
type afterburner.
small?
That's kind of
You think
expensive.
you add more small officer and medium officer stuff? They've
But
already
they
added
already
quite
did.
a bit. They added some, but not everywhere.
I feel like the demand for that is a little low.
The Dragoon it doesn't have any it doesn't have like the newt bonuses, right? It's just
I don't think so. I think it's just
No,
it's drone
10%
bonuses.
Oh no! It does 20% bonus to energy NOS and energy neutralizer optimal range. 10% bonus to NOS
Oh.
and neutralizer fall off range.
Damn. Okay, so it
Yeah.
reaches. I like the range bonuses to newts more than the amount bonuses. I think.
same here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
because
yeah.
especially with NOSes, it matters what your capacitor is.
Yeah,
right?
NOS
So
is really
yeah.
close, but it's just the NOS
NOS is
isn't like the NOS will always
you can keep
drain, but
fresh-
it only gives you if you're
Yeah.
like
You're lower than them. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But also because it has fall off, has longer fall off, you can actually keep pressure up and kind of adjust your attack. The closer you get, into your optimals, you're going to every cycle is going to be the maximum minus whatever their resist is.
Yeah, the one thing
And the
though with the
capacitor
NOSes though, the NOSes don't newt anywhere near as much as the newts themselves do.
Well, but
I mean,
what happens is the newt uses more capacitor,
it does
so you
because
can
don't get any
crash
back.
out. Yeah, you basically you're deleting the other guy's stuff out and you're suppressing him. But then the problem is, if you run into a fit that's counter higher capacitor functionality, that can actually work against you because then your capacitor will drain out before you're able to completely suppress the opponent. But then
I mean,
the
unless
funny
you do
thing
like a
is, that's
duel, like you
actually-
put like one newt and a NOS on there, like the NOS helps
Yeah,
supplement
there
your
is-
capacitor, and then you also have a cap
Yeah.
injector. Like I mean, there's things you could do, but
yeah, you can do some things.
The
Then it
newt
becomes
just
more of a
nukes the
case of what's
capacitor, whereas the
about to
NOS is like I'm gonna suck a little. I won't say it like that.
You're gonna suck what?
I'm gonna suck you a little bit, but I'm gonna get something in return.
I'm not gonna let it dribble down. I'm just gonna suck you up a
That's
little
not
bit.
what I, oh god damn.
He's gonna be like a mosquito.
It was
He's
meant
gonna
to
come up you
be
and-
a wholesome
That's it.
A wholesome
statement,
joke.
but it you just can't when you're talking about the
Talk about
suck.
sucking somebody
Oh.
down.
We're talking
yeah,
about the suck,
can't.
you just can't. But like, I mean, like, yeah, like there's I think just a NOS by itself, unless you're like running a fit that just kind of needs a little extra cap and you like a tackle frigate or something, then the NOS can just help out to like supplement like your cap usage. But I feel like if you're actually trying to be like a newting ship, a newt is better. And if you can fit a NOS on there as well, that's fine. But like I feel like if you're like actually wanting to newt someone, I think you go with the newt.
Well, you also have. I actually really wish we had some functions where like you could Like this is one of the funny things about when they added the whole scenario with the deathless ships. I was always kind of scratching my head. It's like, why did we not have mechanics like shield stealing or armor stealing? You know, that could actually be an interesting way to counteract like an anti-logi. Like logi, you're giving somebody shields and armor, but what if you had a weapon that actually stole, you know, and then recharge yourself?
What?
Oh man,
Yeah.
George
So
Foreman
so
died.
basic.
Sorry.
George Foreman died?
That's good.
What?
Huh?
Yeah. What?
What'd you say, Alex? What happened to George Foreman?
No, just
So,
George
like,
Foreman died. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm browsing
Oh.
Reddit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He died?
Damn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jida, if you want an emotional damage weapon, we would just have a corpse launcher. You throw the corpse back at somebody. But I think, yeah, I think a concept where like we can use like kind of an anti-logi where we can steal somebody's shield and or armor from them would actually be interesting because then it could actually put a lot of pressure on bits that are more active rep. So, you know, make buffer bits a little bit more of a risk. Like if you have a buffer, like if you start like people like to put a lot of buffer, you know, shield extender, well, then you're going to be a prime target for a player who has a shield stealing equipment because he's going to try to take chunks out of you, and you're just going to be buff. He's just going to take pieces out of you until he gets his advantage. Well, there's that too. Emotional damage to Logi.
Emotional damage to Logi is called sensor damps. You're not jammed, but you still can't lock your friends. You have to watch them die.
Mm.
I mean, but also it'd be funny because you get the guy who throws Logi and they're trying to save somebody, and then there's the shield stealers right there, like splurping off, like you're constantly repping him up, and you're just stealing it and taking it away.
Yeah, jammed. I mean, jammed is still strong though, because I mean, if you're Logi and you get ECM jammed, it's like, what are you gonna do? Rep the fucking Kitsune that's jamming you? Like, I mean, jams are really
Yeah.
strong. Jams, like, yeah, jams in like small game probably not as strong because they're still like you can get shot. So like, jams against DPS not as strong, but jams have a place. Like jams against Logi, very strong. Jams against like Ewar Frigates, very strong. I mean, I don't know, like it's definitely been nerfed compared to what they were. Probably, I would say OP before. I think that jams they have a place now, but they're not just like generally incredibly strong across the board everywhere.
Yeah, they were very annoying. I remember in 2020 when I came in before they did all the changes.
Yeah,
How
there's Blackbird fleets that were
ECM.
super fucking annoying. I fucking hated Blackbird fleets.
Oh yeah, well you could just fight somebody. Like if somebody had a trig ship, you would just sit on them and just knock them out, and they couldn't do anything to you.
It's like
It
you
just
bring 10 DPS and like 10 Blackbirds, you could take on like 40 dudes. Like, just like half of them just can't do anything. I don't know. It's just I didn't like the old jams were really strong. I think they were overpowered, but I think the new jams are fine the way they are. I know there's an argument against it, but it's like if you're the one jamming someone, you're vulnerable to that person. But if that person can't actively hurt you, I mean, like if like what's a Kitsune or a Blackbird's range on jams? You can like jam people at like 40, 50, 60 kilometers or more. And if their range is like 20 kilometers because they have autocannons or something or blasters, like you don't have to worry about them. And if you keep them jammed, it's like, yeah, they could shoot you, but they won't because they can't. So you effectively make them useless. So there's a way to make jams still really fucking strong, but they're not
like the
super
one of
strong
the
as they used to be.
yeah. Well, one of the problems is like if you actually look at the EWAR, like to me the Karis is a much more annoying weapon system. And actually, if
Yeah.
you kind of compare the two, both the Kitsune versus the Ferris, you're kind of dealing with this interesting situation where, like, actually sometimes you can actually sensor damp down the ECMer.
Yep.
But I think it's
Well,
more of
and
like the computer
yeah,
falls first.
I didn't realize how until we were doing this tournament stuff. I didn't realize how strong the fucking Keris is. The bonuses that it gets. I mean, and how strong the damps are. Like it's like you reduce each damp is like reducing someone's lock range by 50 or 60%. So you hit them with two of them, even with the stacking penalties. You hit someone with two damps, and it's like their locking range can go from like 80 kilometers to like 20, and that's effectively a jam. That's effectively, unless they're like on top of the target they want to shoot, that's effectively like an old school ECM jam. Like they're almost there.
There's also the fact that, like, if it's certain ships, like like what I was talking about, the warp core stab earlier. A lot of people don't really like using the warp core stab because you're already getting like a 50% range nerf. Then you get tagged by a tackler with damp. You're basically blind.
Yeah, and like you and the other people are saying, you damp out the other if they have jams, if they have ECM on their side, you damp them out. Their ECM is bullshit. Like they can't if they can't lock out to jam anyone, they're not jamming anybody. So
Not jamming anybody yet.
they're worthless. And like, what do they do? Burn in and die? Like,
Oh,
they
because they have no tank. Yeah, exactly. Can't do that. Yeah.
So I mean, you can armor tank them. You fill their mids with ECM. You armor tank the ships. You can do that, but like
They ain't gonna
it's
be
like
any
if they
good.
burn in, they're just gonna die. So like they're just sitting out there like, well, I'm damped out. I can't jam anybody. And now their ECM
Worthless.
doesn't do
I think
anything.
it's actually a little strange that, like, the weirdest weapon system that probably maybe the most effective per se on paper, the weapon disrupt and the guidance disruptor. Like, to me, they're the weirdest ones because they have separate functionality. Like, you have to have two separate systems. One that only affects missiles, one that only affects turrets. And it's always like this really kind of funny situation, like where it actually is like if you get into a fight with somebody who's got turrets, but that depends on which turret type you're dealing with. Like if you get into a fight with somebody who's got laser turrets and you hit them with a weapon disruption and you screw with their tracking, they can't touch you. But then if you swap the other way, like let's say missiles, you can effectively, for the most part, most ships, knock their range to almost worthlessness, or they can't really do damage at all to you
I
because of the explosion radius effect.
Yeah, like so Dragon was like, why is there a missile and gun difference? I kind of like that they like you kind of have to pick and choose, and I also like the way that because like with the weapon disruption, the gun disruption, you have like the optimal range reduction. I think most people probably don't use that unless I mean maybe, but like I feel like tracking is generally what you're going to use for the most part. But
They could have just done scripts. They could have just made one module and it'll have all the
you
scripts,
can
so you
do
could actually kind of swap
Yeah,
between
you could do both, but I feel
I
like
like that.
if you're tracking disrupting a gunship, you're probably disrupting their tracking because that's the most effective thing to do. I mean, there's probably situations where you would do optimal range disruption, but with the missiles, I kind of like because I know there's one where it's like it reduces the explosion radius or it increases the explosion radius, so that essentially just makes it like you can't make the missiles not hit, but you can make them not hit so hard. So it's kind of like when you tracking disrupt a gun, you make
You
its
got somewhere
tracking
to be,
worse.
Alex?
So they might still hit, but they're not going to track as well. So maybe they're getting glancing hits instead of penetrating hits. So it's basically reducing damage. Whereas if you're increasing the missile explosion radius, you're basically reducing the damage there as well. And then the explosion
Drink more.
velocity, right? Is that the other one? I can't remember. Or is it the
It helps, Alex. I'm telling you.
wait, is Alex out?
Yep. Sorry,
Oh,
I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, that's all good. All right. Have a good day, man.
I was just telling him to drink more. It works better.
Yeah, I actually forget that the second. What's the other script in the missile disruption? There's explosion radius, and then what's the other one? Is
it's
it
like the
velocity? I think it's
maximum range.
velocity, right?
Velocity,
because
right? Yeah.
yeah, so both of those just reduce damage. But I mean, that's essentially what you're doing. If you're reducing optimal range and tracking, you're essentially trying to just reduce the damage that a gun does.
But differently.
But well, yeah, and
Well, but it's like
I
with
think
these
the
new
tracking disruption does a
Yeah.
little bit better because might be able to disrupt that enough that it does no damage. To where it's like they might have been tracking slightly doing some damage before, but if you disrupt that more, they're doing no damage. Whereas if you disrupt the explosion velocity or the explosion radius,
Well,
they're still
the
going to
precision
do damage
disruption
no matter
script-
what. Like they are going to do damage. You just
So
it's
the precision disruption script
yeah.
gives you the explosion radius and
Yeah.
explosion velocity. Then the other one is the missile velocity and flight time. It doesn't get.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
do
that gives
either
you.
of those two.
So like if you have the range, like you said, okay, if you do
Oh, okay,
the one
there's a
that has
flight
the
time one. Then I can
range,
see that you could basically
Yeah,
make them do
the
no
flight
damage.
time
then.
one is the range
That's the
one.
range disruption script, and that's a
Oh.
Yeah.
missile velocity bonus of 100% and a flight time bonus of reduction. Sorry.
Okay, so that can make you do
I-
no damage then if they can't reach you. Then I guess, but
Yeah. So
Can't get to
basically,
you.
well, like
Yeah.
it's like
Yep.
if you end up like
Anyway.
ships like rockets, rocket armed ships, one of the problems I found with like the T2 rockets is there's a weird gap. Like they're supposed to be able to hit like about 8,000 to 9,000, meters, 9 kilometer. But one of the weird problems I've realized in playing with them is that you actually have to get within 6 kilometers. So if someone smacks you with a range, uh, disruption, you're basically down to like 3,000. You're basically about the same range as most blaster and
Blaster. Yeah.
autocannon.
Yep.
Optimal.
Yeah.
see a suitor. Sorry, he might have left already. Thanks for hanging out, Suitor.
Later, bub. Oh, he was saying goodnight to Alex. He ain't leaving us. Suitor loves us.
Oh, okay. I thought he was taking off.
Yeah, but he is.
Now he's
Yeah,
gonna.
Drakenhoff
He
does
thinks
have.
you hate him.
Shit.
Yeah. Drakenhoff does have a
Sorry.
point. The tracking disruption, it's kind of weird because in PvP it doesn't really seem that important. But for missions, when the NPCs throw down on you, it's kind of a messy issue. I mean, it's actually like the ECM for
You start doing a lot
NPCs.
less damage to your targets. Yeah.
Yeah, well, also like the ECM, like I really hate mining. Like I'll go out randomly mining out like in Caldera space sometimes every once in a while, and I despise Arista's NPCs because they will ECM break your locks off anything that you try to get onto. And so they're still using kind of like the old ECM mechanics.
Oh, the
And
rest.
it really will piss you off after a bit.
I mean, like the one
Get this one rock, click.
the one thing that I mean, like, well, so I mean, if there's
Yeah,
rats
what
in the
stuff,
belt,
yeah.
you're probably gonna kill them with something else, right? Unless you have drones in your miner ship. But if
Well,
you have
remember
drones,
Prospect.
if you get ECM'd, your drones
no
will go
drone.
aggress the guy, right? Like the drones will get
Well, but they
jammed.
also will chase. They'll actually randomly chase stuff too. So that's another problem too. So, like in endurance, you're
But
okay.
NPCs won't run off and like kite your drones. They'll stick around you though. I thought.
Well, that's the problem too. It depends on which type of threat you're dealing with. Like there's sometimes the drones will, because if you can't lock and then switch them over to a target, because like if you're being ECM'd all the time, you're not able to lock the target out further out. The drones then beginning to just wander around hitting stuff.
Mm.
And they might luckily hit the target that's causing you troubles. Like if there's certain ranges that you're at and you keep getting, ECM'd, you're not able to target whoever's doing the problem to you. And so then the drone starts to wander. They'll aggress, but they're going to wander to whatever target's close to them.
Hmm.
So it's a really weird, it's a fascinating interplay, but it does make it frustrating in certain situations. So like certain ships, you really don't do stuff in certain areas of space, dependent upon the NPCs that will spawn.
You gotta bring
Because
an
they will
alt to shoot the rats that come after you. Then.
that, or you do the depot and then you make the ship that's not supposed to be a combat ship into a NPC killer, which doesn't make always sense, but yeah, it works.
Yeah. Let's see. It's 9:30. We've gone for a few hours, 3.5 hours now. I think and a lot of people have left, so let's
Go find somebody to
let's get a raid. Although, okay, I was like, let's let Gita
let's
finish his
do-
thought. Change sensor comps to 5.
Yeah, sensor compensation is not really effective in some situations. It's interesting,
Why would I
but I found it's
train? Oh, sorry, good.
like if it does make you a little harder to ECM, and it does have a weird secondary function where it actually makes you supposedly harder to stand down with combat.
What
But
is
most
Century
people don't
Comp
even
underneath? What group is that?
like you'll have
Targeting
gravitational, you'll have
probably or something.
lidar, you'll have magnetromic.
Electronic
I think it's
systems
yes, I
engineering.
believe so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, electronics. Most people don't really even use like there's actually a special set of implants that
Oh, I have
only
it to
do
5, baby.
concentrate.
I've got it to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only going to affect the ships that have that particular trait.
You got
Who are we
targeting
gonna
maxed
raid?
out, baby.
You want to
Fuck
raid
yeah.
a Narcos? Narcos doing some PvP.
Who?
A Narcos?
Mothership PvP.
Yeah,
Doesn't sound
get
right.
him.
I like a Narcos. He's a good dude.
I like Brody.
Yeah, so we'll send the raid to a Narcos.
Open comms. Let's get them. Oh, that's us. Never mind.
What would happen if you raided yourself?
Try doing it. See what happens. See what happens.
That would
it-
be interesting.
Is this like
What'll
dividing? It's like dividing by 0 or putting like a bag of holding inside of a portable
Maybe. Let's see what
hole or
happens.
something.
What's the worst? What's the worst gonna happen?
All right, does
Ask LB. What's
does
the worst gonna
everyone
happen,
here
LB?
want to run a test?
We
I
end
do.
up in an infinite loop and we
Like,
can never
do
get out of it.
Do we want
Please
to
do it. Do it. Yeah,
I don't know if anyone's ever done it. Do we want to test this?
Try it. What's
Let's
the worst
test it.
gonna
Okay,
happen?
if it fucks up, then
If we get
everyone.
booted from Twitch, we'll know it was a mistake.
Yeah, like what if we actually just like what if Amazon Web Services just like melts down? Yeah, let's try it. Let's. I want to see what happens.
Twitch
I
for
don't.
everybody, yeah.
I want to see what happens. Actually, I have a feeling I know what's gonna happen because I've raided channels right as they go offline, and it basically just fucks up the raid. Nothing happens. I think that's what's gonna happen. But I'm willing
We all
to
know
test
where
it.
if that happens, you go to Anarchos, Morty Snert, or Ghosty Gaming. Well, those
Yeah,
three,
if that
you're good to
happens,
go.
just go over to Anarchos and tell them you survived the singularity or something.
Survive the singularity. No, you tell them that anyway. Nothing happens. We're gonna rate him and tell him that.
It's like they thought of this. I did the command. And it's like a channel cannot rate itself.
Oh, fuckers.
Fuck you, Bezos.
Yeah, what if I
me
want to
just-
touch myself? Yeah, let me touch myself.
What an
Come
asshole.
on.
No,
What an
what a bunch of like anti-fun people.
No doubt, bunch of dicks.
Damn. All right, we'll rate Narcos then. Fuck it.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And that's all I got.
I had to make sure I spell it right because I think I last time I went to raid
You
a Narcos,
didn't. You spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I spelled it without a C, and there's actually a channel called a Narcos without a C, and
they had just gone offline.
I rated a channel. No, I checked it. No, that channel had been dead for like 5 years. So I rated a channel that didn't exist. Or it still existed, but no one was home for a long time. All right, so okay, I got it spelled right this time. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you tomorrow on the raid if you want, or on the street. What do you call it?
Where can they find you? Did you link the Discord? You fucking.
I did link the Discord earlier. I'll put it again.
Link it again before you die. Yeah, before we leave us.
All right, I'll put the Discord again. If you're interested on going on the roam tomorrow, there's a link to the Discord. We have
and it should probably just be. Why did mine not work?
We have an Eve Chamber channel. We'll probably be posting in, and it'll be 2300 Eve time. So that's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. 2300 UTC if you're in Europe. I don't know. You have to. I don't know all the Europe time zones, so you'll have to figure it out there. But yeah, so we're gonna go on a roam. Probably just kitchen sink frigates, destroyers, maybe some cruisers if you want. But we'll do that tomorrow. And also we'll probably stream it here on the channel if you don't want to go on the roam but you want to watch. We'll have the channel up here. But until then, I will send the raid over to Anarchos.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
That was awful.
Dom, you couldn't put a link in because you're on streamer mode.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That made me
Ah.
unhappy.
All right, bye everybody.
Like
Bye.
Mhm.